right, welcome to GlobeVision's Business of Music Industry Panel. We're back again for year 2. Last year, we hosted this event in LA during the Grammy weekend, but unfortunately, we're not there this year, but that's not stopping anything. Because of coronavirus, we're bringing you this event virtually, live from your living room. Tonight, you'll see various panel discussions, also performances. We want to thank all of our sponsors. The venue we're in today, we have Digital University. We have a small in-house, audience due to coronavirus. We're trying to social distance. But we got in the back, we got Lady Jazz bartending. If you haven't gotten a drink, don't get one now if you come into the panel discussion, because look, I don't need y'all slurring your words. I need to hear y'all clear so we can get this knowledge. We're bringing y'all the same great knowledge that we did last year so you can grow your business or, if you're an artist in the entertainment industry. We also want to thank GlobeVision for hosting this whole entire event and putting this on, as well as L&P Hair Care for all of our grooming needs. I see you in back, Russia. And we also have Stylez B of Mic Check by Stylez B that are going to be interviewing our guests and making sure you all have that content so we can keep growing and learning together. All right, we're going to get started with our first guest, KG of Cosign Magazine. Hey. Good. Can I get this mic turned up just a little bit?
Mic check, mic check. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, yours is louder than mine. All right, because we're starting from the beginning.
Yes.
Tell the people about who you are and what you do.
Hey, guys, I'm KG at Cosign Magazine. I created Cosign Magazine in 2011. It's a print and digital platform that covers and highlights entrepreneurs, artists, creatives, executives, etc. Our motto is we believe that no story should go untold, so no matter what industry you're in, our biggest thing is creating your own story and presenting that as to the most authentic way so that we can share your story and share what you have going on with our audience.
All right, so tell the audience, like I said, I came up when cosign was a slang, so I know what it means, but we may have some people in the audience, younger, older. What is a cosign?
So a cosign is a stamp of approval. It's like your way of showing support, like you put your name behind it. So funny story. How I came up with the name cosign, my sister needed help getting a car. And I always say, man, I like you like that, but I can't really co-sign you like that. Because, that means you're putting your name behind it. So I didn't really want to go that route. But with my magazine, I was like, you know what? A co-sign really means something, and I could co-sign other artists and entrepreneurs and help them shine their light on my platform. And that's the best way to go.
All right. So with your platform, co-sign, entrepreneurs, business, how important is a co-sign, would you say, in the entertainment industry?
Man, I say a cosign is everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm here today because of a cosign. You're here because of a cosign. Just to ask the audience, how many of y'all are Clubhouse? Because of a cosign. Somebody was on there sharing gems, and they said y'all should get on Clubhouse, and we got on Clubhouse.
Right, and then to that point of cosign, you literally had to have somebody cosign you, send you a text to get on the app because they wanted to make sure that, they had a lot of quality and people on there that was, really sharing what they knew about, not just capping.
Nah, for
from
sure.
what I hear, because, everybody's on there now.
Yeah, it's wide open now, but, I feel like it's still valuable. You can still get some gems from there, but just like in anything in life, some things may get oversaturated. So you have to, find your way in, what you like to do, what you listen to, and take from there as you please, and then head out.
Okay. Now, I know with your magazine, you do print and digital with that.
Yes, print and digital.
Digital aspect of it, I can imagine, during the current, pandemic.
Right.
How has business kind of shifted for, where you put your, your perspective?
So, of course, we've been heavy digital because of platforms like Zoom. We're able to interview creatives and entrepreneurs from all over the world without having to be physically in front of them. And for those people in Dallas, we're still able to interview them and get their messages out quickly and rapidly instead of waiting for that print to come out. As you know, with COVID, we couldn't really host that many events where we usually get a lot of our magazines out. Yeah. So we have to shift our focus into digital. And then another thing we did for our business model is we created a cosign loft during the pandemic.
Okay.
So a cosign loft is a creative space for people to come do interviews, photo shoots in an intimate setting. It's also our cosign headquarters where we create everything in house.
What? See, so some things were actually birthed out of this pandemic, right?
No, yeah, facts, definitely. So yeah, cosign loft was definitely birthed out of there, and then our YouTube channel just kind of add an extra burst to it because of COVID. So
have you seen an influx in your YouTube, like your views,
your
subscribers?
I have. I've seen people I guess they have more time on their hands right now. So
Yes.
they're going back watching older videos, which is kind of cool.
Child, I be watching people videos from like 6 years ago.
I was about to say, some videos I ain't proud of, but, you know, don't hold me.
But it shows the growth. That's why
Nah,
I
it
like
definitely
doing
does.
it. Yeah, I work from home now because of the coronavirus. But, you know, so while I'm working my files, I like to have up YouTube. And
Right.
I also like to watch a lot of interviews like these, you know, with artists and entrepreneurs because you just see their growth and it
Man,
makes you
definitely.
respect them that much more.
Yeah, nah, facts. I was chubby back then and everything. So.
Look, we're not going to hold you to that.
Yeah.
Now, I know you interview entrepreneurs, like you said, but you've also interviewed a lot of artists.
Right.
Where do you feel like the two intersect in the entertainment industry?
I think music, art, culture, business is all tied in. I think everything works against each other, right? In business, it's called the music business, so there's a business aspect of it. But music is based off of life and culture, you know what I'm saying? So all that is intertwined. And for me, when I speak to artists, yeah, the music is important, but for me, it's like more of the creative process. You know, so it's more about your story. I think that's what makes people resonate with artists. So like if they have an amazing story to tell and if they have the great business behind them to get those endorsed, because if you think about it, business is transactions, right? So if you have a manager or somebody in your camp who has relationships and those relationships can get you endorsed that you couldn't get in by yourself,
Right.
that's a benefit. That's a benefit. You know what I'm saying? So like if artists don't have specific platforms, like a lot of artists I talk to, they're not on LinkedIn, which I guess is okay, but at least your manager needs to be on there because that's where like the brand deals come from.
Right.
So that's another thing I recommend to artists where, you know, even in like my marketing and sponsorship class,
That was a tip.
Yeah, that
so
was a
write
tip.
that down. If y'all
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
audience
So
or
I'ma
y'all
get-
at home, write that down. That's a tip.
So I'm gonna give y'all a gem. So in my marketing sponsorship class, I tell people if you create an account on LinkedIn and you search, I'm gonna give you an example for Dallas. If you search, because Toyota's based in Dallas, if you search Dallas Toyota brand partnerships, a list of names will people pull up. You take those names and you plug that into Instagram, and then you follow them, you like, you engage, and then you go back on LinkedIn and connect with them there. So now you're on two platforms with them, but now you have a personal relationship because Instagram is more personal, less business. So you can go on Instagram, share, comment, slide in their DMs, etc. And that's how you build a relationship and find out who's who. Because a lot of times we're like, man, all right, I want to work with Toyota, but who can I get at Toyota? LinkedIn is where you get all that information from.
You might as well drop the mic after that, KJ.
I know, I'm done.
But we're going to keep it going. We're going to keep it going. Now, because that was one tip, you know, to meet those connections. Because I was going to ask you next, how long have you been doing Cosign Magazine?
It'll be 10 years in July.
Okay, so I know where you are now because
Right.
I became familiar with the platform about 2 to 3 years ago.
Okay.
You know, so like I said, you see the growth of people over time. How did you grow the connections to where, you know, I'm seeing it now, but I'm pretty sure in the beginning, you know?
Man, a lot of barter, a lot of trades, a lot of free work. So I used to go to Trees every time they had a concert. I would always go to Trees. I interviewed ASAP Ferg, Dolla at Trees. And there was once I got there, I kind of realized it was the same person I used to see all the time at these concerts. And some of y'all might know him, BC. So BC was helping a lot of these, BC was helping a lot of these artists. So I introduced myself to BC. And then, you know, sometimes like in media, you want like all the big names. You want all the big rappers. But you got to think too, like it's not always about you. Like they may have artists who are coming up that need the same kind of interviews and platform to reach.
That's
So
what
it's
we
kind of
did
like,
today.
you know, it's kind of like you scratch each other back. Like, all right, KG, when Dolla is in town, I'll get you him. But I need you to make sure you look out for your people that's in Dallas right now.
Right.
So a lot of that, a lot of networking going out all the time. Like I tell people too, like somebody's asked me for advice. They're starting like a little docuseries on Instagram. And they're like, man, a lot of people aren't replying back to me. I guess it's because I'm just starting, but they don't really want to do it. And I'm like, it's free content. And I'm like, man, that's because you're going after people who's already signed. You're going after people with 500,000 followers. Like, I will go after people who need you more than you need them right now. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to put them on. They never going to forget that.
Right.
And they're going to tell everybody. They're going to promote it more than people that got 500,000 followers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
I always look for the underdogs a lot.
Exactly.
Another gem. So even when we're hosting these events, how we get the connections we get, I think people are intimidated the opposite way when you don't see 10,000 followers.
Right.
But some of your AR people
Man,
got
exactly.
3,000 followers on
Exactly.
Instagram, and they'll have in their bios A&R, whoever, you know,
Exactly.
but they just looking at the person that got 10K, 50K, you know, what have you.
I mean, I've been guilty of it before, but we know once you start seeing how business works and relationships work, man, you never overlook anybody.
Right.
Man.
right, so we're back again with another panel discussion. We got some great information from KG, but now I'm here with Aimee Terese. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, good. Now, I know a little bit about you, but once again, tell the audience who you are and what you do.
Hello, my name is Aimee Terese. I'm 15 years old, believe it or not. I am like an influencer on TikTok. I have about 110K. It's basically like a tea page. I talk about gossip and things going on in the news and stuff. So yeah.
All right. Well, look, child, I just got on TikTok like 2 weeks ago.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
And I posted 2 videos, so I got like 20 followers.
Okay.
No promo.
Okay.
But you got 100K plus. So let us know how you were able to grow your platform, that large.
Okay, so first of all, I have a video on there. That went viral. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Basically, I ask, what's the whitest of white song that gets you turned up? I don't know, you might have seen it on Instagram or TikTok, but it basically like blew up. I think it's at like 3 million right now, 3 million views, and it just got so much attention. It got me like 60K in like 2 months. 60K and too much more followers. I already had like 50K, but it's got me a lot more. And I just, the way it blew, one of the ways that I helped grow it is like talking about a lot of things that people kind of argue about, like kind of controversial things, like especially with the tea page, like it really helped it blew up. I got like 10K in like the first month.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. So with you growing that fast, I mean, even before the 60K, like you said, you had 50. What are some growth tactics that you feel like you can share with more entertainment TikTokers?
Ask questions. So I have a call to action. So one of the things I noticed on TikTok that a lot of other creators have been doing and like starting the trends is asking different questions and getting people to stitch and duet the video. So like telling them to have a call to action, telling them to comment and things like that. Like there was this one trend that was called No Nuance November. Basically you give your hot takes without any context and just run.
Okay. So basically kind of the same things that we do on YouTube or Instagram. Can you please like, comment, share, subscribe, what have you. Same thing we need to be doing on TikTok.
Right, because sometimes you just got to tell them to do it. Like they got to be told what to do.
And that's with any audience. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to really kind of guide your audience where you need them to help you at.
Right.
Now, I know, back in the day, back in the day. Anyways, a lot of artists or even actors were being, discovered on YouTube. Do you see kind of a similar thing maybe happening on TikTok since, basically I'm always amazed by like when they can get the timing of the words. I'm like, they going places.
Yes, definitely. People do use TikTok to boost their career because TikTok is like one of the easiest ways to blow up. Like there are people who just get on there and they do something random. It has like 1 million views already. I've seen some people even on there trying to promote their song to like get it to Disney, like to get it on like a Disney movie and stuff. So people definitely do use that a lot to like singers and dancers and stuff. It really does work.
Okay. Now, since we're talking, getting into Disney and things like that. Now, I know from a friend that, I didn't even know this at first, but TikTok can be monetized. What does money look like? Have you experienced that with TikTok and, how you can monetize on there?
Yes, on TikTok, they have like the TikTok Creator Fund, which basically once you get 10K followers, then you can start making money. But they like to shadow ban you a lot and keep you from getting a lot of views. They'll give you a little taste of fame, just a little bit, and then they'll like take it away. Yes, so like they only pay you like 9 cents for every 1,000 views you get, right? And so for me right now, I only get like 150 a month from TikTok.
Okay, but that's nice to know, where you can kind of put your resources in with the various social media accounts, because that's what Instagram, YouTube was enough for me, so I didn't have room for TikTok, but people, you kind of got to move with the times as well,
right?
Yeah. Now, I know you also do some acting with the midst of the coronavirus. How has auditions and still booking gigs, come about for you?
I haven't done any acting stuff for the whole, I've been quarantined for like 10 months now. I haven't done any of that stuff. I've seen a lot of my other friends are still doing it, but I I have asthma. I can't risk getting.
Right. You got to stay
Yeah,
safe.
I've had it before, and it sucked.
Oh,
it sucked
well,
a
we're
lot.
sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, but how has that kind of, I guess, kind of shifted, you know, your career path and what you want to do versus social media, acting? You know, what does this have you thinking after this, how I need to move?
Well, one of the things that I've kind of wanted to do to like incorporate it with Teen T, the thing that I do, the T page, is interviewing, kind of like what you're doing.
Okay.
I want to like kind of turn it into like an entertainment media kind of thing. And I've been like trying to get into interviewing. I did my first time interviewing like I think 2 weeks ago for GlobeVision Media. And so it gave me, I was very nervous, but after Corona, I really want to start getting into that, and I also want to get more of my other acting friends in on Teen T, because I want to make it like a big thing, and like have things where you can record and post a lot of stuff on YouTube and stuff, sort of like a little, you know, E-entertainment or like SNL or something like that, kind of moving in that direction.
Child, you thinking big. 15, y'all, 15. What was I doing at 15, child? Wasn't thinking about, you know, creating media and starting a career. But that's good to know. So you mentioned YouTube. Have you started on that platform? And if so, how's that been going for you versus TikTok?
It's definitely harder. It's harder trying to convert a lot of your followers to YouTube, especially because, again, TikTok does like to shadow ban you. So they've shadow banned me a lot on there. And right now I have like 600 followers on there. I'm still trying to convert a lot.
I got 6. I mean, only 600.
Yeah, but it's a little bit harder. It's hard to post consistently. I'm still trying to. It takes a lot of more time to edit, trying to make more content on YouTube plus on TikTok and stuff, but I'm starting to get better at it.
And I think that's something we've learned too. I know it's always hard. That's any platform, right? You can have 10K on Instagram, but if you asking people to subscribe to my YouTube channel, you still only at 1,000 or 100.
Right.
So you got to kind of start where you are and just build that platform really kind of like from scratch. You can't really think, because I have a big following here, they're going to follow me there. Because I know with me and podcasts, I don't listen to podcasts that much.
Right.
So, but YouTube, you got me all day. I'm more of a visual person. So how have you, I guess, differentiated your content from TikTok to YouTube, since they're both visual platforms?
Like, what do you mean by?
Well, because sometimes if you're doing, let's say, a try-on haul, or like you do tea, what's the difference between producing that content on YouTube versus producing that content on TikTok? So you can kind of, have two different kind of styles.
Well, it's definitely a lot longer. I have more time. I give my opinion more on it and like add more jokes and stuff in there since I have a lot more time.
Okay.
So yeah, I just try to like add more things to make it more engaging and entertaining. Because like on there, you really have to try harder on YouTube to grab their attention. Because on TikTok it's a lot easier because it's just in like 15 seconds or like 1 minute. So like everybody has a short attention span. It's a lot harder to do that and get them to stay watching the entire video. So.
Yes, because you need 4,000 watch hours to even be able to be monetized on YouTube. So that's some good points. So you want to use TikTok, trying to grab people's attention, your audience intentions. Maybe you can start building on there versus YouTube. You want more longevity, in your content, and maybe content that really more to lives. That's one point, YouTube, like I said, I've been watching stuff on YouTube that was published 6 years ago, whereas on TikTok, it's you constantly scrolling. So that's just something to think about when you're kind of having, a social media marketing plan, where I'm going to put my time and my resources as I'm creating content. Now, child, like I said, 15, what we had at that age? Bebo. Bebo coming back, by the way. I saw it. I'm going, you probably don't eat. Okay. All right. So, child, Bebo was before MySpace, before Facebook, before all of that. So I've been on a lot of different social media platforms as, from teenage years to now. I won't say how old I am compared to you. But how do you see things from your perspective, being so young, on how the climate is changing, where social media marketing is? Social media marketing wasn't even a thing. We were just using it for fun. But like you said, you're able to grow and kind of see where to place content. With that being said, so from your perspective and your age range, how do you see that kind of, progressing?
Well, it's definitely, again, a lot easier to get bigger. You can start becoming like a person at a much younger age more easily, more quickly and stuff. It's crazy. Like right now, I'm doing a lot of stuff, and TikTok has kind of just helped me to like push forward more. Like TikTok has gotten me like different opportunities, like being a brand ambassador and stuff like that. So it definitely does help with all of the opportunities and stuff.
Well, look, like I said, I started my TikTok 2 weeks ago, but you have definitely given me a lot of tips that I can feel like I can use if I want to grow that platform, excuse me. So we might have some audience members or some live stream members that want to get more TikTok advice from you. So let the camera know where they can find you and, you know, so they can connect with you.
Okay, so it's Teen T Show on all social media platforms. Teen T, TEENTEACHOW.
All right. Well, thank you for being with us today. And if the audience give her a round of applause.
Thank you.
Hello, we are back another year with the Business Music Industry panel, and I'm here with somebody that is not a stranger, now family. This is like the third time with us. How you feeling?
I'm feeling really good, happy to be here, so ready to let everybody see what's new.
That's right, and you do have a few new things like the name. So last time you were Serena with us, and now you are Imani Nyree. You have to say it slow because it's real cute. I thought it was a made-up name, but it's your middle name.
Yes. So the reason why I chose this name was because there's Serena Williams, and a lot of people would refer to me as Serena Williams. So I'd be like, I'm gonna change up the game. So I just used my middle name because it was very catchy, very pretty. So and a lot of people seem to gravitate towards it.
I love it. Now let's talk about the look today. Okay, I see you. You didn't spend no stops, no nothing. I see. So tell me, what's different about Imani Nyree this time around, opposed to like maybe the very first time you were with GlobeVision?
The Imani Nyree right now is more focused, more into. I won't say I'm more into music now, but before last year, I was getting the feel of it. First time being in LA, so I'm like, okay, all this is new. I'm excited. And now that I'm back, I'm like, okay, it's time to really get down to business, do what I need to do, and share it with my family.
Okay, and you know what? You give off, I'm going to say, maturing artist vibes. Like when you first came out, it was like, I like to sing. And then you would kind of sit in the corner. And then when we call you up, you blow, and then you sit back down. And now it's kind of like you work the room. You come dressed to impress. The face is beat. I know you see it. So I love to see the growth. I'm glad that you continue to join us. So how have you kept it going amidst the pandemic? Because I know that has affected everyone. So what's your secret?
The secret is I like to isolate myself. So with the pandemic that went on, it was like I was able to I had no excuse as to why I couldn't get anything done because everything was in my face. I could sit there and do it without, I gotta go to school or I gotta do this and that. It's like I could get it done, do what I need to do, and keep pushing and working forward.
And so we were talking backstage, and you were like, as a result of the pandemic and being home and wanting to continue to grow as a brand, you got an in-home studio.
Yes, I sure did. So.
Now,
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm trying to learn how to produce, so I'm self-teaching myself how to produce. But I'm still writing music and getting what I know I can do down. Because producing is a little difficult. So I'm gonna work my way up to it.
Okay, well, listen, I can't wait to see how you continue to grow as an artist. But what I'm really excited about right in this moment is the performance that's coming up. What you singing for us?
I'm singing My Mind by Yeva and Forever Don't Last by Jasmine Sullivan.
I cannot wait, and you can't either. You better stay tuned. We'll be right back.
All right, so we had that amazing performance by Imani Nyree, and we're back with another panel discussion. So I have Mr. Casino Smooth, and I also have Mr. BC Newton.
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Hey, doing good, doing good.
So, once again, as we always start, because we need to get a little context, let the people know who you are and what you do.
Casino Smooth, CEO of Paradym Music Group. We do music promotion for all independent music artists. Everything from interviews, music promotion, social media marketing, influencer marketing, everything.
BC CEO of Southern Fried Marketing, 20-year vet. I'm same vein, promotions, anything from digital to radio to whatever. We pretty much promotions.
All right. Well, look, I feel like y'all are going to share a wealth of knowledge, so we're going to get right into it. Now, I told you, I've been watching your YouTube videos where you share a lot of knowledge. And you always talk about the artists doing research. Okay, so I need you to kind of discuss where they need to research to put their dollars. You know what I'm saying? We see a lot of flexing on the gram, which some artists may think, okay, this is going to give me clout, this is going to give me listeners. Where do you feel like they can better, pivot their money so they can be more of a success versus just, flexing for the gram?
Right. I think it depends on the artist, right, and their budget. So depending on their money, because I'm not going to tell an artist that has a $500 budget the same advice I'm going to tell an artist that has a $20K budget. You see what I'm saying? So if you have a $500 budget, maybe you need to go to some, 100K influencers, have them promote your music so they can do a dance or a skit to it.
Okay.
If you have a $20K budget, maybe you need to do some type of, streaming so you get some of that money back, and then also do some radio promotion so that way you're in rotation in whatever region that you're at. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's different advice for different artists,
right,
based on their budget.
But then basically too, like I said, they flexing, bottles. We hopefully not too much in the club right now, but I mean that can be expensive. So we know they have the money. They just need to spend it more wisely to get them the results that they want to get.
Right. Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Well then too, Mr. BC, you said you was 20-year vet.
Yes, ma'am.
Times are changing. I know you probably heard the 15-year-old we have, that's in marketing.
I did.
How do you feel like you've had to kind of change and pivot as, time has gone by to stay relevant in the music industry?
Well, it's one of the oldest cliches of real to just keep up with the young folks. You know what I mean? I have kids, so I actually, believe it or not, I do some of my own self-studies in the house, just asking them, paying attention to my kids. But, the only way you really can keep up with anything that's growing and fast as it's growing, just keep up with the youth. All right. They're going to tell you. She taught me how to use my iPhone, if that's the case. Period.
Now, we're talking about keeping up, social media, and you also said, budget-wise. Right. Now, say, we're on the low end of that budget. Like I was talking, with Aimee. It's so many social media platforms. There's so many, ways we can use our resources and our money. If you had to give them, where would you, put more of your time and resources? Like I said, if you're in that low-budget area and you're trying to build, so you won't be, running your stuff all over the social media platforms. Right.
I would still focus on Instagram. Okay. And the reason why I say that is because you can pay influencers $20. You could pay them $40. Like, for example, I just ran a campaign last night. I just paid 10 influencers like $20, $30 a pop. And their prices are probably going down lower now just because of TikTok. It's more popular. A lot of people are advertising on TikTok. So they're, and the pandemic too, they're willing to take lower prices. So they have 100K followers, pay them $20. Hey, can you post my music? Can you post my content on your page? So yeah, you can stretch a $500 budget out and get about, 30 influencers. And I actually have a course on Instagram that
Shameless
I'm
plug
on right now. So, yeah.
Go ahead and tell them more about that.
Yeah. So the course pretty much breaks down what I do, except for an independent music artist. So instead of me getting on the phone with every artist that, calls my phone and telling them how it works, I'm able to sell this course automated so that way they can all do it themselves on their own free time if they want to, take the course to do it themselves. But it's really simple. I mean, I've done this for bigger artists with bigger budgets and, helping them go viral and stuff like that. So any artist can do it if they take the time to do it themselves and learn how to do it.
Gotcha. Now let's talk about going viral because you mentioned it. So, I think some artists, that's their goal. But if you don't have anything beyond being viral, then it kind of fizzles out. So how would you say, I guess, keeping the momentum after an artist goes viral? What steps should they be taking to make sure they have some longevity?
Yeah. So I would say is, if you go viral, definitely want to follow up at least, within that. Our attention spans are shorter, right? If you think about it, a long time ago, people were going viral, and they were viral for like a month. Now you see something goes viral, you forget about it in like a couple days to a week.
Right.
So make sure you drop something else within that next week to a couple weeks to kind of piggyback off that viral success. You see what I'm saying?
Have it attached to something.
Okay. What is that something?
Well, let's use an example. I'm pretty sure everybody here is paying attention to these verses, the versals, excuse me, and you see now they're dropping content, either an album, a single, or new video or something, because they got all the eyeballs, which we call them, on them in that moment.
Right.
So
like,
you have to capture the moment. You know what I mean?
Brandy was coming out with an album right when she did her verses, so it kind of kept the momentum going.
Keisha Cole did it.
Okay.
It's just, they're getting, when you get the eyeballs, you got to really capitalize on that moment.
Then they also had a Spotify playlist. So like you said, attach it to something. You went viral, but look, hey, here's, where you can find most of my music. Because if you like this song, you may like this, that, or the other.
Absolutely.
All right, we're getting somewhere. Now, also, because you talked about, staying relevant, 20 years, being intact with your kids. How would y'all say also with the pandemic? Like you got to stay relevant, because when this hit, I know some music artists, you used to in-person events, boots on the street.
Right.
How have y'all been able to kind of pivot your businesses due to coronavirus?
Well, my part, I got more digital, because I definitely was from the old school, I'd have to say, where we touch value was still the thing. It still is, really. But now we can't walk up on people and do the meet and greets and the move around, as we call it. But with that being said, it's just digital. Be very, very consistent in digital. Like, the funny part is everybody's trying to go viral, but they never can tell you the science what made them go viral. I haven't met one person say, I did this, and this to go viral.
Right.
You know what I mean? They attempted something, it happened. But with that being said, I think it's just digital, to be honest with you. Be very, very resonated in those spaces. And figure out which platform really worked for you. Because, he spoke of Instagram, but you got several other ones. Let's be honest. Most people spend the most time, while TikTok is working so well, it's time spent. That's the most active platform that we have out here right now. When at one time it was actually World Star. You know what I mean? So, as they talk about artists doing their homework, pay attention where people are paying attention at.
Try Mike again. Pay attention where people attention at. But you have to know your audience. So that goes back to that research. I mean.
Well, hold 1 minute. When you say you got to know your audience, you may not even have an audience yet. Connect to the peoples first.
Well, let's start
and
there.
Gain your audience.
So if you don't have an audience, where am I starting?
Just get there. You got to figure that out. You got to learn of special people that know how to pay attention to your analytics, which is this gentleman right here, myself. It's a back office to everything that's going on. Most artists are paying attention to being in front of it, but it's a back office that needs to be handled and looked at every single day. You know what I mean? You might be popping in Germany and realize you out here trying to entertain the people in South Dallas.
Hey, you got something to add to that? Because But I mean, like I said, I watch a lot of your YouTube content, and you kind of give those tips. But from what you're saying too, sometimes you just got to do the work, and the research comes through the work.
All the time.
It's
you
not
have
always
to do the work.
reading. And
you have to do work.
Yeah.
You have to work. You have to be willing to work to do the work, if that's the case.
Yeah,
a lot of them trying to look for the shortcut, and it's really not no shortcuts to success, to be honest with you.
Now, this is what I noticed, and y'all tell me y'all perspective on this. I feel like a lot of artists, they just think, let me keep making music, putting it out there, but they're not looking at that back end stuff of, that one song or those 2 to 3 songs that can really work, and they spending their wheels and their money, producing new content when your first 2 songs haven't even really popped yet.
Absolutely.
So,
well, first 2, it might be that 5th one though. Still, you have to get a rhythm. I use the brother Rust as an example. He by way came of SoundCloud. But every Thursday at 7 o'clock, he was introducing something. Either it was a remake, it was a cover song, it was something that he was doing, but that was Rust's hour. It came to be scheduled out, sketched out. You knew you could find something new from him every single week.
All right, well, let's talk about consistency as well. Because I feel like a lot of artists, like y'all say, with digital, we doing this. One person going viral, the next person going viral.
Ma'am.
So how do you we getting away from viral, but stay consistent?
Still go back to, again, the back office. Finding what's working for you. And I don't think a lot of artists even pay attention to sounds and things of those nature. You know, this record might have worked for you better than that record did, and they want to go off and sound like Prince, and they need to be doing something different. You know what I mean? Just being honest. Because their audience is paying attention to this instead of paying attention to that. But all of it is, when I said again, it takes people like myself and this gentleman sitting on this couch that knows how to look at the back office and give you the right feedback to where you go in that direction.
Now, I'm going to let y'all know, before we start this interview, Mr. BC said, I don't talk. And he is giving all the gems. Now, he's talking about the back office. Casino, let us know, because like I said, I watched a few of your YouTube videos.
Right.
With those analytics, where have you found videos? Okay, you did 4 tips on stage performance, management. What do you feel like people are tuning into? Because those are analytics for you to let you know where artists feel like they need the most help.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, based on my opinion, I'm an overachiever, so my channel is only getting about 30,000 views a month. So I look at the analytics and I see that pretty much they're just interested in how they can blow up overnight. You know, how can I, you know, get the most bang for my buck? What's gonna, you know, help me push my career forward? Stuff like that. So those videos really, you know, how can I get a record deal? That was actually the first video that got like over 100K on my channel. And it's still going up, and that was like 4 years ago. So, yeah, it's crazy.
So would you say the information you shared in that video is still relevant with times? How do you think, you know, landing a record label, you know, deal back then versus now?
Yeah, I would say it's still relevant. The style is just a little bit different. I do recreate videos to kind of like get views based off the old views. So not really repurpose content, but I kind of add on to the old content just so I can keep pulling in that new traffic, you know, so.
That makes sense, because sometimes, you know, it may be a tidbit that changes, but you want to make sure you're still giving that knowledge.
Right.
Okay. Well, look, I know y'all are working with some artists right now. What do y'all feel like are some pain points that y'all are experiencing that you can kind of be like, hey, y'all need to kind of be looking at this as we have, you know, artists in the audience or they're streaming?
I compliment something the gentleman said was really just know what you're doing. You know what I mean? It's bigger than just being famous, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Like a lot of them, you know, I tell it all the time. It's part of my own story. Depends on what chase you're chasing. You know what I mean? You know, some people are just trying to be popular in the moment. They'd be around for a hot 2 years at the most.
Right.
You know, because I can use examples and work these records and things of that nature. Depends on if you're trying to establish a career, which would be a long one, or if you're trying to be famous and popping in the moment. You know what I mean? So I'm not mad at neither one of them, because it's folks that's getting rich in a matter of two years. You know what I mean? But it just depends on what you're trying to really establish, a long career and putting on your homeboys and all these other things of that nature. That just takes a different type of grind. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. So what are the pain points you feel like you have with your artists?
They're not like really good on social media. Like it's hard. Like if you live a real life, like you're a real, you know, I don't care if you're like a real street rapper. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for them to kind of portray that on social media. Like, because like, oh, I don't use social media. Well, you need to start using social media because people need to see more about your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to spend one whole day. An artist paid for a big campaign. I had to spend one whole day with the artist getting content for him, you know, in his day. Like, oh, take a video of this, take a picture of this, do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, present who you are to your audience. Because if they don't know who you are, they can't connect with you.
Right.
I don't care if you got the best music around. People are more like visual based now, you know.
Right.
So.
I always feel like when you are in the public light, or at least trying to be, like social media, you have to kind of switch it from your personal life to your portfolio.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whether that be Twitter, you need to, you know, be tweeting about the hottest new record you just dropped. You know, if you're on YouTube, it needs to be content there. You know, Instagram, like you said, you need to be capturing what you're doing. That's why a lot of times, you know, we flicking it up here. I understand it, because you need that content to say, hey, I interview people. You know what I'm saying? That way when they can scroll my page. Then we also talked about it at the beginning of this, it's a cosign. You know, what you're saying is backing up with what's there, so it doesn't, you know, because a lot of people capping these days. So we need to make sure we stay away from that.
And it's definitely all of that. You know what I mean? Because you got to understand you're driving traffic. You're trying to get the traffic first, so you're driving it after that point to keep their attention. One of the things we talked about across the map and across the board is that people's attention span is very, very small. So what are you going to do to get that 3 seconds?
How do you feel about that attention span 20 years ago versus now? Do you feel like it's harder? Do we feel like we just have this influx of music and entertainment?
Well, I don't know if it's so much as harder. because it's definitely shorter. But you definitely got to be doing what's popping with these folks to get their attention. And just be honest with you, I can't really say it's harder.
Okay.
You got more platforms, you got more opportunities,
that's
you
like,
got,
it's a lot.
you know what I mean? So I can't really say it's harder, but let's be honest, like, we talking right now, you ain't gonna remember this tomorrow.
Look, now I know you talked about you have the artists, you was taking pictures for them, what are some of the tangible services that you all offer? Because I know marketing can mean, a wide different variety depending on who you talk to. So, Casino, if you want to go about the marketing services, and then BC.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my regular spiel that I say all the time. So we're a music promotion company. We deal with everything from radio promotion, club promotion. We help artists set up tours and showcases. But what we specialize in is digital marketing, influencer marketing. So that means we work with big influencers on all these different social media platforms to help promote your music. So when we promote your music, we're doing nothing fake, no bots, nothing like that. It's all real promotion. And that's what artists say all the time. They're like, oh, do you do real promotion? Like, yeah, we use influencers. So that's anybody that has a big influencer base that can promote your music to their audience, so that way you get followers and streams, subscribers, whatever it is. So we can take artists and blow them up overnight. So we do everything. So.
What about you, BC?
I compliment, we do a lot of those digital, but I think ours is a little opposite. We boots on the ground, as we call it. We the one touch point. And yes, things have changed a little different because a lot of the markets are closed down. But like I said, we definitely do a lot of the digital, all radio. We've actually, I can't say it's not one vein of promotions that we don't really do. We still go out here and scrap and get to it, hanging poster boards and everything. So it just depends on what the campaign consists of. Because we not only just in music, we do a lot of Fortune 5 companies as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I watched the YouTube video, so I know you talked about those posters and how really visually, because, marketing-wise, too, I'm a little business major, if y'all ain't know that about me. But, your audience needs to touch your product several different times. Absolutely. So I saw you there. I'm experiencing you here. I scroll, I see a YouTube ad or Instagram ad, and then now my friend is telling me about it. So now it's just like, well, I need to kind of listen to this person. I need to watch this person. Yeah. So you need to have different, avenues of marketing streams going.
I would add on to that and say that you should look at it from 9 different engagements an artist should try to influence the brain of some nature. Seeing it, hearing it, something. Even themselves being part of that 9 engagement, coming in engagement with the artist, with the fan base. Now,
because we're talking about 5 senses, do you think that's where rap snacks and stuff came into play too? These rappers now, venturing out to, beverages and snacks and stuff.
It's been going on for years, but it's just coming to be more of a thing of products, realizing they can cross promote with these artists, because it goes back as Busta Rhymes being one of the first individuals to have a endorsement with a liquor. You know what I mean? So it's been going on for years, but it's more popular. The more that really needs to be across the board with is that the consumer base is us. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Let's be 1,000. They talk about the urban world. They talk about us as black people, things of that nature. We drive the force. So most of the times, if I want to go get to the bottom of it, I'm going straight to the source. Let me go get this brother that influences these people and put it in front of them.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
We get knowledge here. Okay. Now, you also mentioned bots. What are some cons, because, people, if they want to come up, they may listen to anybody. As long as they got a good pitch, somebody might have sold them on, hey, XYZ, they not knowing it's bots. What are some things some artists need to stay away from with the cons of things of that nature?
I would stay away from fake YouTube views. And the reason why I say that is I know a lot of artists out there that have like 100K views on YouTube. And they'll come to me and they'll be like, look, I got this many views. I'm like, I don't even want to tell you, but those are all fake because you don't have any comments with it. And you may have 1 or 2 comments with 100K views. And you know what? It may not be fake. It may just be a lot of ad views, right? Like the 5-second views before, you watch whatever in the first skip. But it just doesn't look good. So if you do buy like ad views like that, make sure you have influencer marketing. Have ad views, so that way the influencer marketing promotion is going to give you like real people commenting on your music video, so it doesn't look like, okay, you got 100K views and like 2 comments, because that doesn't look good at all.
Right. I never even knew YouTube you can do that. I knew it on Instagram, but I didn't know you can even do that on YouTube. But that makes a lot of sense because the numbers aren't matching up. We need them to match up.
Everything can be influenced. Trust me. You just got to deal with the right people.
Wow. See, I'm learning a lot. What about y'all in the crowd? Okay. Well, is there any other thing you want to share with the audience before you all kind of wrap it up today on marketing and what you all do?
Just be consistent in whatever you're doing. It don't happen overnight. Yeah, you see some success that happens, but trust me, there's a lot more work done to it before you actually saw it. But I just say be consistent, man.
And me, I look like a serious person, but guys, approach me if you want to. We can talk. We can have a conversation. DM me if you want the Instagram course to grow your Instagram organically. DM me, Casino Smooth, Casino with 2 I's, Casino Smooth on Instagram. I'm out.
BC, you want to share yours and drop that mic like Casino did?
No, I'm
well,
good.
No, don't drop the mic. Drop the mic.
I wasn't gonna do no talking, so I don't want to tear up nothing. I actually know the owners, so we good.
Ooh.
I ain't replacing nothing.
You were supposed to get the people. You said
I'm sorry. BC, Southern Fried Marketing. I'm like my man, but I ain't as serious as him. But y'all can still approach me. We talk, we hug. I come from down south, so we get to it however y'all want to. We can break bread, have a lunch, dinner, cocktail.
All right. Shout out to Jazzy Lady Bartending. Thank you.
Thank
Well,
you.
we appreciate y'all showing y'all knowledge, and we're going to continue the show.
Hello and welcome back to GlobeVision Business and Music Industry Panel. I'm here for the second half. I'm your host, Stylez B, so we changed it up a bit. And I have some industry vets sitting here with me, and I can't wait to get started. So, fellas, can you introduce yourselves for us?
Dolla would pass it to me first.
Okay.
How y'all doing? I'm KASH. I'm one of the owners of Digital University Studios, engineer, producer, do a lot of things, manage and turn into label now. So I follow in the step where BC go. I'm his little brother, so he do a million things. He taught me to do a million things.
Okay.
Shout
Nice
out to
studio.
Globe. Yeah. Shout out to GlobeVision too.
Dolla, you're not going to do this on my panel, okay?
Studio,
Because
for real.
he was already being in trouble before
Dolla
we went
gonna be
on.
trouble.
You
You
see
better
that,
know that.
right?
Dolla gonna
We're
be
going to be
trouble.
professional
He
and
got
give them
something to
these
say.
jewels, okay?
Dolla got something
go
to
ahead,
say.
Cash.
You gonna
Go
get
ahead,
him.
Cash. We listening, but it is a nice studio. But go ahead.
I appreciate y'all. I appreciate everybody that's here, you know what I'm saying? And feel free to walk through the space and, check it out. We black owned. We only been here a couple of months. We just trying to give back to I once was an artist that didn't have nowhere to go and people were charging me a lot. My boy Black Ass Wayne back in the day back there, he used to look out for me though. But when I had to
It's
go to
the
these
name
bigger
for me.
studios, just to give y'all a quick rundown, like a lot of y'all that know the history in Dallas, y'all know about like Maximedian Studios. You remember that back in the day? And I used to pay almost $200 an hour to record there. But now I got the keys to the building. I teach there. You know what I'm saying? I got a plaque from there. So, it's one of those things. So I just want the young up-and-coming artists to know that it's possible. Y'all keep grinding. It might not be the way you want it. I wanted to be a big famous rapper, but I turned out helping people. So,
No,
Okay, that's how you introduce yourself.
Yeah.
You done dropped like 10 jewels just in the introduction.
I'm
Okay.
just a vessel.
Listen,
just a
let them
vessel.
use you. Let them use you. Okay,
Preach.
go ahead, Dolla, since you passed it to him, but you was ready.
We gotta go to the West Coast. I'm down south, baby. We finna
Go ahead, President. Go ahead.
we West Coast.
What's going on? I'm President Young. I'm an A&R, and I'm just a learning student. I'm the janitor, and I'll be the CEO if need be.
Yeah.
I like that.
All right.
Here we go.
I'm just a regular person.
Here we go.
My name is Dollar Bill. I help a lot of people, whether it be Fortune 500 companies to artists and the whole nine. So my relationships kind of span the globe a little bit on some of the things I'm doing.
Now, Dolla, can you give us a title? Like, what you give us 3. I know you do a lot, but give us
Jesus.
3.
You really trying to turn me into Jamaican?
You are Jamaican.
Yeah, I know.
Stop it.
I know. Jesus, I do marketing. I do music placement on radio, whether it be top 40, rhythmic, or urban. I also do a lot of marketing I do a lot of guerrilla marketing. I love coming in contact with people because that gives you an idea of what you're really working with. You know what I'm saying? So I love that part of the game. I do a little digital marketing. I should do more, but man.
You want to be in them streets.
I really love interacting with people because you get a sense of what you're dealing with. Mm-hmm. If it's a product that I have in my hand and I see this man right here and I attach it, that's why I love black people, because we're going to tell you the truth. We're not going to play around with you. We're not going to lie to you. Oh, that's trash. Boom. You know what I'm saying?
With a smile sometimes.
Like that last time you gave that to me, that was, they're going to tell you.
Trash. So it's a situation where, like, if we have an event coming up, if I hand you a flyer, this is one thing I noticed. Oh, okay. Then they throw it down, then they're not interested. Mm-hmm. But if they keep it, that's saying a lot. But I'm coming. I got you. And you know what I'm saying? And it kind of gives you a Geiger counter of what kind of activity you have. Mm-hmm. So I do music placement overseas. It's music licensing overseas, I should say. And there's a lot of money that people are missing out on as far as with vinyl, with merch, the whole nine. And a lot of artists, it's good to focus in on your music, but focus in on making some nice merch with a nice logo. Because I'll give you a case example. Albert Lee, one of the rappers here out of Dallas, I told him, I said, bro, focus on your merch. He did his merch. It helped him sell his music. I don't want to put his business out there, but he's doing well with his merch. And his merch helped out his music. And it's kind of a continuous cycle. So a lot of artists, they're attracting the game. They're going at the game the wrong way. Okay. And I'm about to give out another jewel right now since we over here. We're going to jump into
I mean, y'all jumped in. I like it. That's why I was silent.
Head first.
Give it to him.
All right. This jewel right here, and I thought of this off the muscle. You got the liquor slinger back here with the nice Easter bunny jacket on.
Not the liquor slinger.
Yeah.
just for those who are not in person, that's Jazzy Lady bartending here. Thank you so much, Jazzy. You've been keeping the drinks coming. We appreciate you. That's who Dolla is referring to for those who are not physically here. But go ahead.
No, I'm talking about Tex.
Oh, you talking about Tex? That's who you calling the liquor slinger?
Yeah, that's liquor slinger.
Still free promo. Okay, Jazzy, I got you. Okay, Go ahead. Finish with Tex then.
Yeah, well, here's a creative idea that I'm throwing out there. This is just a jewel.
Okay.
This man right here, he promotes liquor, okay? As an artist, you want to get your name out there and get seen, okay? Why don't you do this? Hey, Tex, how are you? Let's do lunch. Let me promote your next event on your liquor, and then we could just go from there.
Make sure it's
due say. The event.
Make sure it's due say. Make sure it's due say.
Yeah. It's a situation to where why don't you approach them and say, hey, listen, let me help you promote your liquor, and then I have my artist music or whatever your merch is or whatever the case may be, and you tie in. Mm-hmm. See, a lot of artists trying to do everything on their own. Listen, a lot of y'all working with a Lone Star card budget. Let me tell you something. You got to work every nickel penny that you can. You know what I'm saying? And some of these people out here, they don't have the budgets to kind of take it to the next level, so work it from there. Here's another jewel. My homie Blue right here with the black jacket on. This man does club nights, 5 nights out of the week, 7 nights out of the week? Okay, this man need promotion. Why don't you do a flyer with his stuff on there and your stuff on there, and then you cross-promote? Mm-hmm. That's a jewel.
Yeah.
I'm invoicing every last one of y'all.
No, you're not.
You know what I'm saying?
No, you're not.
The hell, I don't know what she tripping on. That's that New Orleans mess right there. That gumbo mess. But the thing is that you want to be creative in your way of promoting nowadays, because what you're running into now, there's a million rappers out there or singers or whatever the case may be. What separates you from everybody else? What separates you? Who the hell are you? That's what I be a question. Who are you? Like, what separates you from this dude right here, this dude right here, or you? What separates you?
A lot of them forget that, though, Dolla. I tell artists all the time, as an artist, you become a character. Mm. So you got to develop that character, and you got to live that character. Now, a lot of them are living the wrong character because y'all see them getting killed and all of that. So it's all about the character that you – now, try to make it as natural as possible. Don't go far left. Don't go far right. Just try to keep it as true to you as you can be so you don't get lost somewhere in the process. That's why you see a lot of artists that end up depressed and all of this, because they done lost their true self in this character they portraying. They don't even know when they – and this pandemic is bringing out a lot of that because you're sitting at home looking at yourself in the mirror now. Now you can't every day we wake up, we put on the character that we want to be. Everybody. We might put on a Louis belt, some Gucci shoes and all of this, but we ain't paid our rent. So now you got to sit in that unpaid rent with them no couches and all of that, and you can't go out and just be cute or in that little corner in your apartment. Like, it ain't cool no more. You starting to see how bad you really are off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So now now if you haven't taken this time to really sharpen your skills and hone in on your craft and get better, like people ask me, why did I build this during the pandemic? Why not? You build when the price is low. You know what I'm saying? Right. So why not build now? I mean, people are gonna need places to go. Now we don't know what the new norm's gonna be. Right. So it's gonna be content. We know that. Yep. So why not build a content house? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Why not build a place where people can come create?
Where's the collection plate?
Yeah, that's what I'm finna say.
Okay, where is the collection plate?
Amen.
Listen, they came to be on the panel. Now, you done took several of my questions. You know, how do you stand out? How do you make a difference? How do you stretch your budget? All of those things, I think, not only does it matter, but it is the difference between who can dabble in this and who sustains and have a career of longevity.
But
now,
excuse me,
go ahead, that's okay.
But that's why you only see certain few make it. So only a certain few have 4 to 5, you know what I'm saying, intangibles that it takes to make it, or even 3. That's why you only see, if you know about sports, you only see a few 5-star athletes. You'll see a few more 4-star athletes, a lot of 3-stars, a whole bunch of 2s. But you know what I'm saying? That's why it's only a few Drakes. It's only a few Lil Waynes. It's only a couple Jay-Z's and all of that, because also it's your mindset. A lot of people try to go be bosses with employee mindsets, and that messes them all the way up. Like Dolla, he look, it's important as hell, but he still will be in front of the club passing out a flyer. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people ain't willing to do that. A lot of artists ain't sold outside of Loop 12, but won't pass out their own stuff.
Well, I just thought about that when he was talking about cross promotion, because I think sometimes, like, I've met people that be like, oh, I've been doing this for however many years, but you still have to introduce yourself to the person you're speaking to, which means you have not arrived to where you want to be, right? So a lot of times I see that they eliminate the possibility of growth because they feel like they're at a certain space, you know, in their career. So that's a valid point. He said, I like to go and talk to people and hand them out. I do guerrilla marketing, and he could definitely get to a place of like, no, I don't do that no more. But that's not who he is, and that's why I think, well, first of all, that's why I know he's here with us today, sharing the juice. Successful. Okay? Now, President, you quiet on us. You quiet.
I
was giving you time.
I'm just taking in the knowledge.
Okay. You hit him with that last conference you talked about. You was dropping some dimes on that. What?
Go ahead. You know, we'll wait.
I ain't got nothing for they saying everything that need to be said. My man created a content house for creatives to come to. My man is out here marketing and promoting, so that's a big part of the business that people are ignoring. I think.
Man, hit him with that algorithm, bro.
Well, let me ask you this: how have you changed, kind of how you're approaching your career with the pandemic? Like, what adjustments have you made?
My career is a little bit different because, of course, I'm like looking for talent and things like that. So, excuse me. I think we have changed everything at this point because we're looking at algorithm, which he just touched on. Statistics. We have to build more direct relationships or artists or people at this point. And of course, people don't want to meet up. People don't want to do the things that we used to do pre-pandemic. So you have to find a creative way to contact and get into like conversation with people, rather that's content, TikTok, different things of that nature, promote the music, market it to people. As a guy behind the desk, I have to go and look at that content. I have to go and pull those analytics and see what that artist is doing differently in today's society, because it was literally a year ago at this point. Yep. So I think people have not, as he was saying with artists, they have not took that into accountability. You can't stand outside the club and pass flyers so much. You have to invest in your career and do the digital marketing. It's a lot of stuff on the other side of the table that artists were not aware of, but they're being educated forcefully now, and they're having to hire these 2 guys right here to basically keep them relevant at this point.
Well, you know what? Let me jump in real quick. I got a quick question for you. On your digital side, with the marketing and whatnot, how much data do you guys go through? Is it like a plethora of stuff that you go through and you see how tangible an artist is and whatnot? And are you receiving any revenue from the TikTok streams at all?
Yes. Yes, for TikTok. Did you want to kick in?
Yes. No, that was one of my questions. That was one of my questions. I said, yeah, answer that. Answer what he said. All right, Muhammad. Come on, answer what he said.
Yes, for the TikTok. What was the first question on that?
The analytics.
The shit is sky high, honestly speaking. Whenever I was taking artists into the label myself personally, they would ask us for social media following, TikTok following. All that stuff is important. A lot of times artists think that it's not a part of the meeting. As an A&R, I have to pitch you first. I have to believe in you first. So I think a lot of people ignore that you do have to do that groundwork. And 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to lie. We do call the city and ask, like, is this person popping? Would you walk around with this person? Is their street story serious? If it's a young lady, is she really attractive? Does she have a track record in the city? All that stuff is important because we got to sell an image at the end of the day, and that person got to be fuckable. I'm sorry.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is.
They have to be attractive. I'm sorry. I apologize. I see an older lady in the audience. I apologize. I apologize.
It's the reality. And don't apologize, because here's the thing. This is business of music industry pattern. That's a part of the business. And anybody who tries to say that it's not, is not really paying attention.
Now, let me explain to y'all why I apologize. It's a young lady in the audience that I feel like I disrespected. I can't disrespect my
She grown. She just look cute. She grown.
I disrespected her, and I apologize on my behalf. I'm sorry. I apologize. Absolutely.
But we appreciate that. We do appreciate that. But this industry is filled with, those types of things. And I don't think I know her personally. I don't think she took it personally. But what you're saying is factual. Terminology aside, all of those things are factual. So for people who are trying to get your attention, get the right marketing, use your space, and any person can answer this, what's the first thing that they should do to even get a foot in the door?
I think these cell phones have destroyed relationships. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing. Back when I was young, when I was an artist, I had to go physically know Dolla. I had to go physically know BC. I had to physically go to the studio to go mess with Wayne. I didn't just sit back on Instagram and let my followers be my connection. Like, I actually went to go talk to people. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of artists lose that, and they feel like just because they can sing or they can rap or they feel like they make the best songs in the world, that when they walk in the door, you owe them something. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing you a favor by coming in here recording with you. Well, my lights went off when you got here.
Right.
So, I don't think I'm doing too bad, but, you have to humble some of them because they just come in the door with expectations, but they haven't done anything. Like, okay, you come in here, you want my service. Let me look at what you're doing on TikTok. Let me look at your engagement on Instagram. Let me see how you're interacting. Let me see what you're doing on Twitter, anything. What are you popping on? You ain't got to be popping. What are you doing? Let me see what you're doing. You go to their page, and it says nothing about artists. You know what I'm saying? I look at your page, it doesn't say artist. So why are people going to believe you as an artist? You can't be, it don't need to be you cooking or you over here with your kids. I'm not saying you can't post your kids, but it's how you do stuff, how you play stuff. If you're going to be an artist, make yourself an artist. You have to be an artist every time you come out. That's why you only see Meg Thee Stallion when she's dialed up, or when she ain't dialed up, she's in the studio. Make it look like she's working. It all has a purpose. So you got to know, like, just use your head. You know what I'm saying? And actually go talk to people. Don't be afraid to build relationships. Don't just sit back and think you're owed something. Everybody has to grind, and you have to wait your time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Okay. All right, give it to him.
Now on the relationships, people don't understand how strong that is, because if I hadn't known Carletta, I wouldn't be here. I'm just being real.
Shout out to Carletta.
I'm being 100. You don't really understand how strong a relationship that is, because I don't leave and go to certain places, man. I'm not coming to see certain people. I don't need to see you. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I got work to do.
You got work to do.
You did.
Might need to be me.
You did.
I feel you.
Because what people don't realize, you could have half of the ability, but 100% of the relationship, and they'll deal with you because they like you. Y'all can build together. Or you could have 100% of the ability, but not the ability to be personable, not the ability to talk to somebody, you know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things. So people have to balance that. You have to be an artist. You're selling yourself at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I ain't even trying to talk too much about myself, but once I felt like, if I could sell drugs, I could sell myself. You feel me?
Right.
Now, that's one thing I was like, okay, so how do I flip this? That's why they say the dope game is like the rap game. So if I can do that, how can I flip this into me selling myself? Okay, so I have to make myself an A1 product. I got to turn myself into exotic, whatever you want to call it, the best of the best.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I have to really take it serious. I have to go to school. I went to school. That's why I say I got the keys to Media Tech now, because I went to that school, walked in, just thinking I knew something, but walked out a valedictorian. You know what I'm saying? Working, ended up teaching. So, like, you just have to understand what you need. Like, sit back, take a second, get your whiteboard out, get on there, draw on it, see what you need out of life. What am I missing, and how can I get there from where I'm at right now? You know what I mean?
Right,
And relationship will get you a lot farther than your money will. I've seen a lot of people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and not get nowhere.
Yeah.
Millions.
Yeah.
But sometimes the music is not there.
Most of the time.
Yeah. Let me drop another jewel right quick, because you guys going to need this. Y'all really going to need. Yeah.
I can't.
The most important part of the music game that you're going to do now, and it's these three components are really relevant. The TikTok is a part of your streaming. Your streaming is a part of your YouTube. They all go in tandem. All three of them need to be working all together. If you're an artist, whatever you got going on TikTok needs to coincide with you got with your streaming, because what happens is they see you on TikTok, they stream your record, then they look at your video. It's a three-edged sword, and you every time they move it around, they're hitting you every time. They want to see what kind of content you have. They want to see what kind of music you have. Then they want to see, if the music is tangible enough, they go to YouTube and see what kind of visual you have. So it's so important that all three of those components line together, because this man right here, when he do his analytics, he gonna find out everything. He gonna find out if your mama been in the backyard. He gonna find out all kind of details and stuff. He gonna pull up analytics that you've never seen before, because of the software that they have. It pulls up everything from YouTube, from Google to Facebook to TikTok to whatever. So it's important that you have all that different engagement working together, because here's where it comes into play. Because after you do all this, you come see me. And when you come see me at radio, I got to have something at the table. I can't come in there butt naked. That man going to look at me like I'm crazy. I can't get a record in unless I have the analytics that he has in order to present it to the radio station. So it's a situation where they don't want to lose an audience because you don't have all your stuff together.
Right.
You got to have your stuff together before I even entertain the radio station. Don't even come to me and if your stuff ain't together, because I'm going to look at you like, look, baby, look here. Cheering. Look here, little baby. Okay. You're going to have to get this together, because the numbers have to coincide for me even coming to the program director and say, hey, look, I need you to add this to your playlist. Because he's going to look at me like, well, dang, okay, I might try it. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's important that all that has to come into play, because he's going to be looking at it. Trust and believe. If you doing what you're supposed to do, he going to know. Listen, he going to be in the background doing like this. Yeah, I see him. Let me send him an email. You know what I'm saying?
That's how you send emails?
Yeah.
Is that what you do when you
You're
send
going to send him an email.
Not the sound effect. Not the sound effect.
I agree with 100% of that. I think a lot of times that we don't educate the people on how important it is to do that stuff on the correct platform. A lot of times people sell artists on fake stuff. I don't want to shout out those websites and stuff like that, but
that kills me too. It's
a certain amount of channels that count towards what I can see. I can see a lot of stuff, but some stuff is not accounted for. Man, I hate I can't say the website's names, but a lot of times,
wish you would.
Well, I'm gonna help y'all out. You go on RIAA.com. They will have a certain list of things that count towards what I can see. Okay. At that point, you will want to make sure that you're investing marketing and promo dollars and creating content to get on those particular websites. If you're not on those websites, the guy at the top, my job, whoever it is across the board, we can't see that stuff. YouTube, TikTok numbers, it's 98 channels. I think it's like 76 different ones. I think actively working, honestly, it's like 48. I look at about 15, personally.
So he didn't shout out the ones that don't count. He just said go look at the ones that do. I see what you did there. You twisted it around. That's right.
You don't want to spend your money. You're just stuck in the mud.
But to circle back, not to make light of what you said, but to circle back to what Dollar Bill was saying, a lot of artists appear all over the place. So like what he was saying, from TikTok to YouTube to Instagram, it all lines up, because you'll have an artist to be like, oh, this is my TikTok song. Oh, this is the one I want to shoot the video to. Oh, this is the one I want to, you know what I'm saying? So when you go to look up their artist, you might like the TikTok video, but you go look at their YouTube, they done dropped a whole different video. Or you go to their Instagram, they promoting a whole different song. Like, you like, what? Okay, so, you know what I mean? So you have to just, like, okay, say for instance, Erica Banks. Erica Banks used to record in my other studio. I watched that girl go from spending the night in the studio with, like really grinding to where she's at now, Warner. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen it with my own eyes, the grind that you can have, and it'll get you far. because she didn't have no big budget. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't
Yeah.
coming to me, cash, I'm finna cash you out for all these. No, I knew she had talent. She knew she had talent. She believes in herself, and look at where she got herself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got to have belief in yourself, too, and, like, the intangibles, man. People don't understand how much it means just to be able to walk up to somebody and have a conversation. Not just your manager, but the actual artist, to be able to have a conversation with people and, you know what I'm saying, be able to interact and just be able to interact normally. You know, we see enough crazy stuff, people popping pills and being high and all of that, passing out on the IGs. You know, these kids is crazy nowadays. But just getting somebody that can interact normally and just do an interview. People don't know the importance of doing interviews. They act like they ready to be stars, and they can't go sit and do an interview with anybody. So, you know.
I've done hundreds of interviews where people forget to even say who they are. And I'm like, hey, tell people who you are. And they'll run straight into like, yeah, because I've been doing this, and they'll drop whatever name of the highest or, you know, most important person that they work with, but you don't know the name. You don't actually know what they do.
You the most important person. Like, I don't care who I work with. I only eat shit what I eat. You know what I'm saying? So I can't worry about them.
Right.
Yeah. Yes. And let me throw this in too. As an artist, with your social media, have it all lined up. Yes. If your name is I jumped over a cliff, just say I jumped over a cliff on TikTok
on all platforms.
Yeah. So people can follow you, because it becomes difficult to follow a person. 1 minute you this person, and next person you over here. Just make sure that everything that you have is lined up. That on TikTok you have whatever your name is, you know what I'm saying, and it's concise with the Instagram, and it's concise with all of, because that makes a consistency, and then people know, oh, okay, I remember this artist,
right.
You know what I'm saying, and the whole nine. So please be creative, y'all. Please, you know, to separate yourself, because the baby, I remember when he couldn't get his stuff off the ground, so he wore a diaper, and then it just took off. You know what I'm saying?
I was at that South by Southwest.
He was wearing a big old diaper.
A pamper. And
it went off, but it went coincide with his name and the whole nine.
Right.
So it's key that, like, okay, if you're a rapper and you got a volcano in your name or something, why don't you have a lava show or something going on? And
make it make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you want to have some creativity go with it. And then, like I said before, like I was saying with the liquor slinger, and then my man with the clubs out there, Blue and whatnot, you work with these tangibles and when they promote, because at the end of the day, they're trying to reach your audience too.
Yeah.
All you trying to reach your audience, everybody's trying to market. Yeah, so at the end of the day, if you could team up with a person, hey, look, bro, I sponsor this if you sponsor this.
Yeah.
Yeah, work it out. I mean, it's all kind of ways. That's why I say layaway is visible.
Yeah.
Another thing, say like the baby, for instance. How many times do we see him come around this market before he, that's what I'm saying, before he actually blew up. Yeah. So what he was doing was taking the analytics that comes from somebody like Prez and going to those markets where he was getting the most interaction at. So I'm going to go visit Dallas. I'm going to go visit Houston. I'm going to go visit wherever he was going. You know what I'm saying? Whatever his analytics were saying. But he was coming out here shooting videos with Pint. He would go to the next market where he was popping that and shoot a video with whoever the most popping person was out there. Like he was doing his groundwork. So when it came time for him to be the celebrity that he is, he was already familiar. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I don't think people make the most of their social media platforms, because you can see who pinged where. You know what I mean? So where's your following, where's your fan base, and then put it to action. Now, absolutely. I want to, because you guys are all dropping jewels, and I would say definitely successful. You know, everybody's definition of success is different. But I guess I would like for you to share what's like been the highest point of what you consider successful, and what do you think was a key point to get you there? And we can just pass it down. Rock, paper, scissors, do whatever y'all want to do.
Start left to right.
Okay. My biggest point of success, I don't know, just seeing, I'm big on energy. I'm big on, you know what I'm saying, family and all of that. So just seeing my mama seeing that I'm doing something positive, that's the most important stuff to me. That it just like make that curve, make that turn, and actually doing something positive that she can be, because she did music. So now it's like I'm taking it to another level for her. So it's bigger than that. It's bigger than anybody I've ever worked with. I work with a lot of people in the studio, but I mean, that's second to what I can bring home and have my mama proud of me of, or have my family proud of me of. For me, it's about my son. You know, he's in here engineering. He got the engineer for Rollo Rodriguez the other day. So it's about, that's what it's about, the next generation. Like when they light bulb turns on because of something I did. they can help them start out earlier than I got to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then making them better than me. I don't want to be the best. I want my legacy to create the next LeBrons and that of the music industry and all of that. So that's what is big to me when people come in here and they believe in me enough to make their dreams come to life.
That's a testament to who you are, because I know the names you've worked with, and you would think that one of those names would be something you would kind of throw out, and you're like, that was cool. But to have somebody see me come full circle and now be able to sow seeds into the people behind me, that's dope.
It goes back to what I was saying. A lot of people lose who they were at the kitchen table when they was growing up in their mama's house, their granny's house with their cousins and all of that type of stuff. You inspiring the next. I don't turn my family away. I don't care how y'all treated me when I was whatever. Now, I mean, it's all love, whatever. I don't care. I'm going to help my family and whoever I consider family and their family. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see everybody succeed. I want to see everybody. I want to see our people, really, black people.
Win.
You know what I'm saying? It's time for us to take over a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Understand our power. And we have to teach our generations how to, the next ones how to really live. We was kind of thrown in the fire and, taught to live in the zoo, in the jungle. But, now we don't have to live that way anymore. My son is not a hood nigga. You know what I'm saying? And it's great. I love that. You know what I mean? But, and that's what it's about. Just elevation.
Yeah, go ahead. Round of applause for that. Yeah. And this is kind of off topic, but I'll get to the point, right? So for me and my family, we've been losing a lot of people for various reasons, some COVID, some, non-COVID situations. But my husband was talking to one of his, he trains, a personal trainer, right? So he's training someone. And so the guy asked him, well, most of the people he trains is Caucasian, right? So he's like, so who's going to take care of the estate? And my husband was like, estate? He's like, yeah, when your father die or whatever, they leave you the business, who's going to take care of the houses and the companies? And it's like, we don't get left that.
No, we don't. That's
you know what I mean? And so to be able to change that, right? And then we did start further back. It's not an insult, but it's like that mindset that, something as simple as having something to leave behind, not jewelry, not clothes, not, maybe a couple of stacks under the mat, but something to actually that they could do something with that can bring money to them, I think is the goal now, to be better and brighter and continue to sow into them. Okay, what's your highest point, Prez?
I agree. I think it's important for the culture to invest. I'm an advocate for that. I always tell people, stop wasting money and invest your money. You want to leave something to your kids.
Yes.
My pinnacle of success is my job, honestly, because I help people make their dreams come true. I don't think I got into this business for nothing else besides that. And I think the most exciting thing is seeing, the priceless look when people get that chance. They kill it, and I'm excited because they get to kill it. So that's my job, and that's my career, and that's why I love it.
Okay, and how do you think, and you could name several things, but one thing for sure you've consistently done that has allowed you to see the success that you've seen?
Man, what's crazy is waking up every day at 6:30. I think a lot of people take waking up early for granted. I think you get more time to be productive when you wake up early, and I think that's so important to my success, honestly speaking.
Okay, wake up. You have to let that land. Okay.
It's so funny when you asked me that question, I had to really think, and a tragedy turned into a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I was going through a divorce, and that's when I took the whole city and just ran with it.
Yeah.
There was a time where I would hit 20 clubs in one night. That's on a Friday. And then on a Saturday, I would hit 30 because I did discriminate. I don't give a damn if he was an alien. You gonna play my record. You know what I'm saying? That was my whole mentality. I'm not, I'm not a street cat or whatever, but my mentality was, you finna play my record.
Aliens got a jam too?
You did. So my situation was I hit everybody within that time period. And unbeknownst to me, by me working that hard, I had took the city and ran it to the point to where it started to blow. I got to the point to where I had the Little Wheel record, my Dougie, and then check out my Lean. Well, when I took those two records to radio, he wasn't so receptive at first. But within a 2-month time frame, bam, you know what I'm saying? And then that's when they started ushering in those records from there. And then I take under consideration certain records like Nicki Minaj. She had dropped an album, but they didn't even have a single.
Right.
I was the one to come to the program director. I said, bro, play this record. Because of my track record of how many hit records I brought to him, he was like, okay, well, cool, I'll run with it. All right. Did It On Him was her first record that kind of put her on the spotlight. She took off. Another record, Beyonce. She had that party record. I forgot which album it was on. But she had some other records she was pushing. I was like, whatever. So I took that record, came to radio with it to say, bro, rock with this one. Boom, it took it from there. At the end of the day, people always need something tangible and good to work with.
Yeah.
Whether it's a DJ, whether it's a program director, whether it's food, whatever the case may be, that's what you take it from there. And I look at what I went through, and it was a blessing in disguise. It was kind of like it was God sent, like, look, I'm going to take you through this, but you're going to bless everybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So
I
it
always,
was a blessing,
yeah.
man. Like, I just, when you hit me with that question, I had to really think, because that was a deep question, because sometimes you don't deal with wounds, but I'm glad you touched on that, because it just made me realize how hard I was working in. Like,
yeah.
30,
You don't think about it, Dolla. I used to see you. You don't think about it.
No, I
just got
didn't,
you in
because at the
autopilot.
time, it was at the time that I would see a DJ, I would drop a record off, come see him, and then he was like, Dolla, I just saw you. I said, man, I'm my bad, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because I was literally taking these 14s and just stomping on everybody, really. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't taking no prisoners. And the same thing with marketing with the flyers. People think that sometimes I entertain people. I'm cracking jokes, and then you got a flyer in your hand. You know what I'm saying?
And they're going to keep it.
I believe that.
You know, at the end of the day, my situation is I wanted to help a lot of people, and I helped a lot of folks across the board. You know, you were talking about black businesses. I've been helping black businesses since day one, from tax services to pet services to whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's a blessing to see that some of the people that I saw from the beginning come to this certain level. So it's a blessing. You know what I'm saying?
I love that. And I always say from shortage comes surplus.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of things are created because there was a lack, right? You don't create what's already, there's a lot of this, let me create more. No, you create something because it's not there, because it doesn't exist. So whenever there's a shortage or whenever there's some type of heartbreak, you build from that, because you can't stay there. You
gotta
know,
put that energy somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he put it into his hustle. And look
absolutely. And then we were talking about that with the pandemic. A lot of people, you know, they have the time, and it's like they don't want to succumb to, you know, not liking who they see in the mirror, not, you know, feeling like they can't get anything done in this time period. And they decided to they went from surviving to thriving as a result of a pandemic. And even you saying, like, why not build a building during a pandemic? Why not? What else you doing? You know what I mean? Like, what else you doing? So just making the most of what's considered a bad situation, I think, is always the best way to go about things. Now, because we've been talking about the pandemic and we're a year later and still talking about it, I don't think any of us expected that. What do you think, I'm going to say, because we're just now in this new year, what do you think the end of this year looks like in each one of your businesses as far as, like, changes you think are to come?
Well, I'm going to throw this out there. I know Walmart has bought Jesus, I forget the name of the company now. Who owns House of Blues?
Live Nation.
Yeah,
No, Live Nation.
Live Nation
Okay.
just teamed up with Walmart to start doing concerts in their parking lots.
Okay.
They stole that idea from
Oh,
Atlanta.
you didn't know? I threw a rock at you. That one. You wasn't even expecting that one. I threw a rock at
They
you.
stole
didn't
it from Atlanta.
They stole that from Atlanta. They stole that from the culture, like they do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, like I'm about to say, like, to do everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Well, so that's what I see in the future, and then I also see that a lot of people gonna have to have what do you call it, the vaccine. They're gonna have to have that. But I see that there's gonna be a lot of collaborations outside more. You know what I'm saying? As far as in that capacity. So that's what I'm seeing.
Okay. What about you, Prez?
I agree with him a lot, but
Y'all friends or whatever? You could tell me.
definitely.
He was
I
like,
think that
everything you say, I agree with.
Yeah, seriously. I think that they will begin to take precautionary measures to get the concert series back. The business thrives on concerts, so I think we'll see that come back like at the end of this year or top of next year for sure.
Well, that's exciting because I miss it. So, you know, look, my DJ missed it. She missed it. Okay, what do you think we'll see?
By the end of this year, I don't think we'll see concerts and stuff like that until maybe middle of next year, until we start seeing a lot of people in venues and things like that. I also work at a mega church, and we shut down. You know what I'm saying? So,
Hey, I know you seen them IG videos out on people in the club last week for Bow Wow, bro.
yeah, but, you know, now, I ain't saying we ain't going out. I'm just saying as far as, like, Now, rap, that's what I'm saying.
Was it for real or was it the Bow Wow challenge?
Artists, the chitlin circuit is still open. All artists, the chitlin circuit is still open. You can still grind, you can still hustle, do your research. But as far as like, you know, the major events that you're going to want to see, Live Nation shows at American Airlines, Jerry World, all that's going to be different for the next few years. So, I mean, I just see everything still being virtual. A lot of content needing to be created. So, I mean, if you are somebody that shoots movies, start pitching that stuff to Netflix, because people just sitting at home watching TV all day. Yeah. Figure out how to, you know what I'm saying, get your content to somebody. Yeah. Regardless how good you think it is, just get it out your hands. Just start, you know what I'm saying, because we don't have nothing but time to look at our phones now. So I think the end of this year is going to be still a lot on our phones, a lot on live streams, a lot on, you know, whatever you watch at home, or just whatever media platform. It's still going to be a lot of that, a lot of streams. Yeah. So learn the streaming game. That's what I tell people. Learn the streaming game, learn the ins and outs of it, and get to it.
Let me drop this quick jewel. It's called Releasing an Independent Record by Gary Huswith, and that's last name Huswitt. Releasing an Independent Record by Gary Huswith. Go get that book, please. Because some of y'all coming in here, you don't have your copyrights done. You rock around here, don't have no trademarks. You don't even know your own name. I know some artists don't even own their own damn name. And I'm not even going to go there with them. But please understand what you're getting into, please. Mm-hmm. You're not crossing your T's. You're not dotting your I's. Get your stuff together, man. Yeah. For real, for real.
Especially if you're going to start putting it out there, because you don't want to be unprotected if you're going to start pushing it. So, okay, I unfortunately, I'm having a great time. I know they are too. You hear all the yeah. So they enjoying it. But we have to wrap it up. So I do want you to at least tell everybody one by one where they can follow or DM or how they can contact you, because I'm sure they would want to know more or work with you or come record or, be on the label. So we'll go this way this time.
Oh, Lord Jesus. You can follow me on the gram at Dolla Trill Bill, and that's spelled out DOLLARTRILL Bill, BILL. So you hit me on, you can hit me on DM or whatever. I'm usually on there checking on stuff, so I usually leave a lot of comments and stuff like that. So
okay.
Did you get the inspiration of your name from Players Club, bro?
I wanted to start with that joke.
Ironically enough, Dollar Bill really came from a play on my name. Like when I was in high school, a cat. This was way before the movie.
He been Dollar Bill.
Yeah. This was.
I ain't been living a long time, bro. So educate me. I'm listening.
No, but I'm just saying, like it came from when I was in high school, and the cat. You see me, I would go to class with a briefcase all the time, and I was about business back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the name came from. So it was a play on my last name.
So they stole your last name.
Basically.
Basically. My stuff is simple. I'm President Young across all social media. That's with a Z and not a S.
At Digital University, reach out to us. You're in the city of Dallas. We're out here in Grand Prairie, 605 East Palace Parkway, Unit D5. Our clothing line, Federal, 2federal.com, or on Instagram is at federal.inc, INC. So, look us up.
Prez?
I was going to say, since all the panelists are speaking, we get free merch.
Look,
I got you, Prez.
I'll wait.
Professional. Everybody know I be talking.
I like the
pullover. I got y'all.
I like that jacket right
Me
there.
too.
That's a nice jacket, man.
We'll talk about it after the panel.
I got y'all.
But I do also want to say thank you on behalf of GlobeVision for even letting us have this event here amidst the pandemic. We really, really appreciate it.
That's what we're here
Your
for.
team is top notch. And I appreciate everything that you're doing. I appreciate you all for tuning in. We'll be back with another panel discussion. You don't want to miss it. GlobeVision Business and Music Industry Panel. See you in a bit.
Thank you.
Having someone you can vibe to, standing up behind you, yeah. Tell me what it feel like when I flip you on your side to go deeper inside you, yeah. Tell me what it feel like when I have your pretty ass dripping all over me. can vibe to, standing up behind you, yeah. Tell me what it feel like when I flip you on your side to go deeper inside you, yeah. Tell me what it feel like when I have your pretty ass dripping all over me. Show me what it feel like when you throw that ass back and make it roll for me, roll for me, roll for me. Show me what it feel like. Roll, throw that ass back, throw that ass back and make it roll, roll for me.
Show me what it feel like, baby, make it roll for me. I gotta leave at midnight, so girl, put on a show for me. Take off all your clothes for me. You know how I like when you grind on your body look like you need mine on it. God really spent all this time on it. You want me to switch beats? I can slow it down for you. Grab you by your quick weave, or I can beat it down for you. Put you in positions that your body never witnessed. You might get another Christmas. All you gotta do is listen.
Tell me what it feel like having someone you can vibe to, standing up behind you, yeah. Tell me what it feel like when I flip you on your side to go deeper inside you, yeah. Tell me what it feel like when I have your pretty ass dripping all over me. Show me what it feel like when you throw that ass back and make it roll for me, roll for me, roll for me. Show me what it feel like. Roll, throw that ass back. Throw that ass back and make it roll. I'm deep inside it, I know you like it. You get excited, just don't fight it. And when you just don't bite it. And when I close your eyelids, let's get faded, let's get hammered, X-rated on this camera. Do your thing, girl, make it roll. Have me so tired I can't go on. Hey, na na, hey, na na na. I feel like a quarterback, why you throw it back at me? Hey, na na, hey, na na na. I'ma call you champagne when you make it splash on me. Hey, na na, hey, na na na. You not on the job but you working. I love how you twerking, yeah. Hey, na na, hey, na na na. Girl, you been on a roll, but I just wanna know. Tell me what it feel like having someone you can vibe to, standing up behind you, yeah. Tell me what it feel like when I flip you on your side to go deeper inside you, yeah. Tell me what it feel like when I have your pretty ass dripping all over me. Show me what it feel like when you throw that ass back and make it roll for me, roll for me, roll for me. Show me what it feel like. Roll, throw that ass back, throw that ass back and make it roll, roll for me.
Hello and welcome back to GlobeVision Business and Music Industry Panel. I'm your host, Stylez B, and this time it's a little one-on-one, so I will let my panelists introduce themselves before we get started.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chris Blue. I don't really know what I can say, but I mean, I'm.
Don't do me like that, Blue. We talked about this before we started. Don't do me like that.
You know, I just, you know, I guess I can start with, I guess the reason I'm here is a good friend of mine, Carletta. She personally invited me, and so I just want to thank GlobeVision and Digital University, you know, for having me here. Truly humbled and a blessing to be here. You know, a lot of people aren't here right now, so it's truly a blessing to be here. I appreciate you guys having me.
We appreciate you coming through, and I like the little cheat sheet you did. You know,
I just want to double check. I could have just looked over. I had it memorized, but why? You know, if I can double check, why not?
Why not? Okay. So anyway, he's being super modest, and I asked him before. I said, "You're gonna give it all to me, right?"
Yeah, yeah. So I'm supposed to give it all in one.
No, okay, not at all, not at all. You know,
you gotta remain somewhat of a mystery, right?
That's right. So let's get into what it is that you do. Let's start there.
Okay. Well, I've been doing the nightlife thing for quite some time now. It's about 10 years now. You know, and I love it. It's I've met a lot of people, Dollar Bill, Big Tex, you know, Carletta, you know, a lot of different people. You know, it's truly been a blessing, you know, to network, you know, and touch people. That's really the real enjoyment I get out of it, you know. And don't get me wrong, it's fun. We meet a lot of celebrities, a lot of people. We book a lot of celebrities, but touching the people, you know, I enjoy that. You know, having people walk up and saying they know you is cool, but it's more important to, you know, remain humble when people do know you, because at the end of the day, you know, people who come out and support you and spend money with you and patronize your business, you know, that's what really keeps you going, you know. And if I can help anyone you know, outside of my business, that's something I always look forward to as well. Kind of why I started doing my podcast, you know, like touching the people and talking to the people.
Okay, now you done jumped on me because we got to get to, first of all, you have podcasts with some S, you're multiple. But first tell me what made you do nightlife, because I mean, that's a commitment.
Yeah, it is.
You know?
One of my fraternity brothers, we've been knowing each other for some years. I just came back from Texas Tech University. I got my degree in marketing from Texas Tech University.
Okay.
So I was working with a Fortune 500 company at the time. I don't want to say their name because, you know, some people may like them, some may not. If y'all want to know, I truly want to know, I'll tell you, but it's really not that important to me. But I can say, you know, that platform helped me build a network because I started meeting other black people that wanted to elevate and do something outside of corporate America. And so I ran into one of my fraternity brothers from UTA. We had talked several times before. He was already doing the younger nightlife. And so we ran into each other in a Walmart in Sugar Land. I was visiting my aunt for Christmas like I always do. I go down there and see my aunt, my dad, and that side of the family. And, you know, we were literally in Walmart talking about an hour. And before we realized, like, hey, let's do it. And then to be totally honest with you, it's all a blur since then. It just kind of took off. Like, I didn't expect it to take off like it did, but it definitely did, and I was pleasantly surprised that it did, actually.
Okay, well, I know that it's been a blur because you've been working hard, but for people who may be interested in getting into the nightlife, what are some of the things you can remember doing to see the success that you saw?
Well, the main thing I remember doing is I was very gregarious. You know, I'm not, believe it or not, I'm really not a people person, but you wouldn't know that if you wouldn't know that. But I'm really an introvert. But, you know, people, for whatever reason, I was drawn to people and vice versa, likewise. So I was like, you know what, this comes naturally to me, so why not, you know, begin to try to monetize it and, you know, build relationships with people. So that's kind of how it went down. I mean, I wish I had this elaborate story. I just woke up, had an epiphany, but that's not how it went down at all.
So you just kind of foot to pavement, just kind of started knocking on doors?
Well, so, you know, with us, you know, me and my business partner at the time, who is still my business partner, we've actually added business partners since then. Basically what happened was, you know, we went back to our fraternity days, if you will, and we just kind of, you know, you had to network. So basically what we did was we networked with a lot of people, and we just kind of, our first event that we did was basically with our sisters, if you will. You know, our sisters.
Sorority?
Yeah, And so it kind of like, once we branded that event, other people who did not want to work with us before, I won't say big, but we definitely asked them, hey, we have a network and we feel like we can bring something to the table. And so basically, my business partner Quasi and I, we just said, you know what, bro, let's just go ahead and find some venues and canvas some venues. We found a small spot called Glow Lounge back in the day. I don't know if y'all probably don't remember that. That was a long time ago, but basically it's off of off of Knox Henderson. And it's right next door to this place called Sushi Axiom now. It's all of this. You wouldn't even recognize it's completely different. But God told us no. He just kept telling us no. And then this event that he had for that Friday that we wanted, like it was 8 days out, and he basically said, hey, this came open. You guys think you can do it? So now, you know, in my mind, I'm like, man, I got a little leverage now because he don't have anything going on a Friday in Uptown. So, you know. And then so we kind of worked out a deal where we got a bar percentage. We charged at the door. And, you know, like I said, I mean, from that point, people who did not want to work with us, they saw how successful that event was. And we just kind of started working with everyone. And then, like I said, pretty much the rest is history. I mean, it literally is a blur. Like, I mean, that's really kind of how it went down. I mean, if I went all the way back and named off everything, I mean, but the advice I would give everyone would be, you know, just stay humble, really stay true to yourself. You know, even when you kind of start getting a nice wave and people start treating you differently, understand that, you know, these people will treat you differently if you don't treat them the way they should be treated as well. Like, at the end of the day, I've run into a lot of people who don't remain humble, and that's really their downfall. That's the beginning of the end for them.
Yeah.
So that's the best advice I give. Just, you know, be approachable, but be humble. And just put in the work. Nothing happens like that. I hate to keep saying this, but I say this a lot. I say this generation that's younger, unfortunately, I feel like the opportunity for improvement, I won't say weakness. I don't like using the word weakness, but I feel like their opportunity for improvement is not getting the validation before, like they you know what I'm saying, the instant gratification, and they try to make the video before they make the song. You know, so like, and unfortunately that's the key now, you know, and just staying grounded and focused and having a plan and staying focused. Like if you have a plan, understand what your business model is, like try to differentiate yourself from other companies and be yourself. Like one song, it's actually 2 songs. I love music. 2 songs that stand out. It's a line from 50 Cent. I think it's called, what's the name of that song? What If by 50 Cent. He said, man, I'm going to just keep doing what I do because can't nobody do me better than I do. You know what I'm saying? And that's true. Like, who can be you better than you?
Right.
You know what I mean? And then the other one was A-Ball and MJG. I can't be nobody but me. That's all I can be. I can't be who you want me to be because, homie, that ain't me. You feel me? Like,
I feel you.
Yeah, so that's the key. Just stay true to yourself. That's pretty much it. You know, I know that seems cliche, but that's pretty much it.
No, you know what? Even if it seems cliche, I think sometimes you have to keep reiterating things.
You have to yourself too.
Because they miss it.
Yeah. Mainly yourself, really.
Yeah. Because it's especially you know, in another panel we discussed, you know, Instagram and people seeing people, I don't know, you know, become Instagram famous or what have you, and so they start falling into the trap of trying to be something that they're not just to go viral. So yeah, that is important to remain who you are and be consistent with what you want to do, what you want to accomplish.
Yeah, definitely. So, I agree.
Now, I noticed that you had lifestyle connoisseur under your titles when you didn't want to give us no titles earlier, and I got 5 titles on you.
I think that encompasses a lot. That's why, you know.
Yeah. So let's talk about that.
You know, basically, people come to me and say, hey, Blue, what can I do to get into this? And I say, like I just said here, just be yourself and don't try to be, because people know when you're not trying to be, when you're trying to be something other than yourself.
When it's not authentic.
And because they seek the confidence and the passion. I'm big on passion. If I see somebody's passionate about something, I was like, okay. And if I feel like, you know, they come to me, I've had artists and people come up to me and say things like, hey, man, I got this and that. And they just kind of, I'm like, bro, do you believe in yourself? Because you don't sound like you believe in yourself. How am I going to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself?
Right.
So, passion is big for me. Like, if I see that you're passionate about something and I feel like I can help you, I'm going to help you, even if it means I have to make a sacrifice, because you know what, someone paid a debt to me to help me. Like, Dollar Bill's giving me so much game, Big Texas is giving me so much game. It's like, why would I not reciprocate that to others?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's what I would say in regards to that.
So basically, you're saying even beyond them doing what you're doing, just anything that they're trying to accomplish, if they're passionate about it, that's where your lifestyle kind of sort of comes in, because you're willing to.
Because your lifestyle is what you want it to be. Like, you know, even right now, you know, I'm working on some things, and I don't want to, you know, I like to get the receipts before, you know.
Give it away too early, that's right.
Yeah, so, but I got some stuff that I'm really working on in Deep Ellum right now, and I'm a partner in it. And a lot of people don't know about it, but just know that, you know, I'm putting a lot of hard work. That's why I have not been as visible lately on the night of. I still do my events Wednesday through Sunday, but I've been not as visible in my events. I'm still there, but I'm not there the entire time for the most part, just because I have other stuff that I'm working on right now. So
I just want to make a note how you just said that you are not as visible, working 5 days out of the 7 days that exist in the week.
Yeah, I mean,
that's you slacking.
I mean, I have those events, but like I said, I mean, it may be one day you might see me there all day. That's rare, but typically now I'm, you know, and there was times where I was the first one or the last one to leave, but now I still have the same passion, but like I feel like I've mastered that craft, and I know that I can do other things because it's right there in my grasp. You know, when your dreams are right there, you cannot settle. You have to meet it halfway. You can't just sit there and wait for the dreams to come. You have to meet it halfway. You know what
I mean? I can't just be like.
Yeah, I mean, you got to put the work in. You got to put the work in. You know, it's a lot of sweat equity that goes into things we do. So that's very important.
Yeah, I'm still on 5 days a week. I'm sorry. I'm just saying, because, you know, you have people who have, and this is no disrespect to people who are clocking in while still pursuing a dream, because you have to eat, you have to pay bills, you know, but you have people that do what they love 2 days out of the week and say they grinding and hustling and they're really trying to get it. And you're sitting here saying Wednesday through Sunday you still do events and you're not as visible. You get what I'm saying? Like the hustle is different. Yeah. I mean, you didn't even recognize that you said that. You're like, I
get what you're saying, looking
most
at it
of the days,
from that aspect, but looking at it from that aspect,
perspective, I totally get it. But yeah, for me, it's I guess I see
exactly.
What you're saying,
and I guess I want them to catch that because you
Yeah.
brushed over because that's what you do.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
I
saying?
didn't think of it that way, but I'm glad.
I do what I can. I do what I can. Let's talk about these podcasts.
Okay, Dollar Bill's actually been on one of them. He dropped so many jewels.
That's what he do. I'm gonna change his name to Drool Dropper.
Yeah.
I can't say it 3
Dollar
times
the
fast though.
Dollar the Jeweler, right?
Jewel Dropper. You like that? It's hard to say multiple times though. Dollar, let it sit. Let's see how you feel about it. Okay, continue.
No, so the first one, we started it. The first one back in June. It's called Change the Narrative. Like I said, that's the one that Dollar Bill was on. Change the Narrative. It was around the time, all these, this stuff has been going on for years where, basically what I call legalized lynchings of African Americans. It is what it is. We can sugarcoat it, sweep it under the rug. It is what it is. And I feel like when the nightlife was shut down, basically, me and my bro Kamal 1906 on Instagram, that's his name, we decided that, it's time for the people to hear what really needs to be heard. And so that's not the only thing we talked about, but there was a catalyst to start the Change the Narrative podcast. So basically, we don't talk about things that most people would think we talk about. We talk about empowering us as a people, thinking outside the box, being creative, not putting ourselves in the category where we're just being marginalized and, subjugated in so many ways to where we can actually say, you know what? We don't have to just weigh grams and kilos. We can weigh our options. You feel me? Because that's really what we're taught growing up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all we taught. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Yeah, that's
album coming out soon. No, I'm playing.
That's real. That's real.
That's the project he working on.
That's real. That's real. That's real. But no, on a serious note, it's like, if you'd have told me that I'd have graduated from Texas Tech University with a degree in marketing, go work for a Fortune 500 company and say, nah, I'm not satisfied. I'm good. I walked away from it. I didn't even have a job when I walked away. I just went into this full time because I just could not take it. Almost like to the point where if you listen to Kanye West, Spaceship, the song he had on College Dropout, his first album, it's just like you just
old school Kanye. Just can we get a moment of silence for?
And it's just one of those things where you're like I'm making good money. I got a 401k, but I'm not happy.
Yeah.
And you cannot put a price tag on happiness at all. So I wanted to do what made me happy, gave me fulfillment, put a smile on my face every day. And like I said, the rest is history as far as that. That's the Change the Narrative podcast. I have another one called the Bathrobe Chronicles. It's funny because I used to joke about it on Instagram, and I used to do 1-minute segments where I just give relationship advice from things that I've dealt with in the past and how how guys, I really more so talk to the guys hey, how to handle stuff. Unfortunately, I feel like society has forced men to not be as masculine as, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to bring back to be a man and stand on your 2 feet. And even if it means walking away from a woman that you have to walk away from sometimes, that may not be, some people take that as negative. I've walked away from women and vice versa. We became best of friends and actually made lots of money together. Sometimes it's just all about timing, so I talk about that on the Bathrobe Chronicles podcast. And then we have another one called ESP, Essential Sports Podcast, where we just talk about sports, we talk about what's going on, but not what you typically would talk about. We talk about, okay, why is it a big deal that, Colin Kaepernick is kneeling? What's the big issue? Why is this particular player getting preferential treatment? There's, I forget the Seahawks player, he for whatever reason, I heard he was beating on his, I guess, girlfriend, wife. That's his name. And, I found out she was a black queen, and I was just like, man, they kind of swept this one under the rug, but it is what it is. I didn't find out about that until later, but, and I don't like to get into, racism and all that good stuff because I believe it's more so classism. I don't feel like people hate black people. I feel like they hate that black people can be as successful as them. I feel like that's where it is. I don't think it's really racism. It's classism. You know what I mean? I don't know if y'all want me to elaborate on that. I can, but that's a whole nother conversation. I feel like we need.
Yeah, that's why I ain't touch it. That's why I ain't touch it. We only have a certain amount of time, and I can't unpack all that. I can't.
So
that's why I said,
Yeah, so that's that. And then when we just started, we really only had 1 or 2 episodes, but we're trying to really find the way we want to present it because we moved all our podcasts to Saturdays now on Power 214. It's on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. But the last one we just started is The Score. It's a music-based podcast. We don't talk about like necessarily new artists or anything like that, but we talk about kind of things I just mentioned, like stuff that's empowering to us as far as music, how the music industry has changed over the years, how things can improve. Like I feel, just in our personal opinion, it's not like this isn't law, obviously, but those are we have 3, and that's became the 4th one. So that's pretty much it. And like I said, we've done all audio, the video and visuals are coming soon because we want to move into our new space, which like I said is in Deep Ellum. But we're adding more things to that. That's not going to be the only thing in there is the podcast studio.
Okay, all right. Y'all know, woo, that's a lot. But I think I want to talk about the last one only because we're talking business and music. Okay. So the score, where you're talking about music. Before doing the podcast, you doing nightlife and stuff like that, how much of a role do you think you play within the music industry?
Okay. Man, in Dallas?
Yeah, in Dallas or anywhere.
Man, there was a time when Yellow Beezy would buy tables at our spots just to get his songs played. Look where he's at now. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
You say he the gatekeeper.
But keep in mind, I said he was buying tables and he was investing in himself. That's very important. A lot of people want to get put on without putting themselves on. You know, that's not the way you go about doing it. You have to invest in yourself. Like if you think you can cheat, you're not gonna cheat the grind. You're not gonna cheat the hustle. Like you got to get it out the mud, like everybody says, and go and get your bag right. And you got to take some losses. There's some people who gave their money to the wrong people, but that's fine. You got to give your money to the wrong people right time so God can bless you and put you around the right people. You feel me? Like that's just what it is. Where's the offering plate? That's real.
Dolla, don't start again.
That's
okay?
Real.
But you see the introvert done came out of his show. You see that he giving us all of the info.
And like the homie DJ Duffy, Latasha Duffy, we gave her first opportunity to DJ her own set by herself in upstairs in the glass room at Medusa. And I think we see the rest is history. We introduced her to Amber Rose. We brought Amber Rose to Medusa. She became Amber Rose's personal DJ after that. And her career is not taking credit for her career. I'm just saying we introduced her to some people.
The gatekeeper is the gatekeeper,
Yeah, I mean, we definitely, we weren't the only ones, but we definitely help, And I'm so proud of her, the homie B. Simone. I remember when, we know these people government names, and y'all know it's B. Simone. I ain't gonna say a government name because she may not want y'all
Baby
to know
boy.
That, but you
don't
know what?
Her.
That's always been the homie. She's always been humble, and look where she is now. We had an event where I don't know if you guys would know Kimmy Couture. And I say these names not to brag. I say this because I know these people's real names were friends. And we watched these people grow based off, their hustle and, them not being afraid to ask us, hey, can we network and work together? And we said, yeah. And the way I see it, it's a blessing to see these people who work with us become who they are. So, I mean, and it's on the music side, like I said, Yellow Beezy, he used to buy tables with us constantly, and
it paid off.
It definitely paid off, I'd like to say. I think it paid off for him for sure, Yeah. So, I could go on. It's just truly a blessing to be around. And some days I sit back and I don't even realize how blessed and fortunate I am. And I say that because I'm like, I don't get a chance to stop and reflect because we're working so hard all the time. You know what I mean? So one day I'll just be sitting up and I'll be like, man, we really did this. We really did that. And, we can't just, what's next? You can celebrate and then what's next?
I was about to say, as long as you're celebrating.
Yeah,
as long as you're taking a moment, taking it in, because if you are an achiever, it's always going to be a next thing. You're never going to make it to a point where there is nothing else I want to accomplish in life. Let me just wait till till my time is up. No, you're always going to be like, okay, I want this. Oh, I got that. Now I want this. But I think what I see sometimes is people don't, you get this thing, you forgot that was something you wanted before.
Yeah.
Because you got here. So you're taking your moments, and that's what matters most. And I definitely wanted you to touch into how people were pouring into themselves by buying tables, and also for artists listening, get with your promoters, get with your nightlife people, because they have sold out clubs.
So
pre-pandemic, based on what I see, post-pandemic.
So and that's the thing. You got to, like I said, you get good promoters now. You're getting good with the DJs. Now you're getting good with the big name DJs, and the rest just kind of takes care of itself. But you have to grind. It can't be, okay, I'm good. Like I tell people, you could be great. You could be a great artist, but if no one knows who you are, why does it matter? Like if you have, what's the purpose of having $1 million if you can't spend it?
Right.
You feel me? It's like, oh yeah, you're worth $1 million, but when it's gonna come in, oh well, you got to go out there and get the $1 million. You feel me? It's not gonna just hey, just land in my lap, right? You got to go out there and get it, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it as far as that goes. I feel like people just, if they have the passion and the the energy and the, the positive energy, I should say, because you could be around some negative energy and you wonder why you're not getting blessed. I had to remove some people out of my life.
Yes.
And I didn't want to, but I had to. You feel me? It's like if I was not going to grow, if I stayed, trying to like continue to help them. I mean, you can help people as much as you can, but at some point there's an expiration date on that because you have to. God has plans for you too.
Yep.
And if they can't, and you know what? If they can't see those plans, that you may see something in them they don't see, but it's not up for you up to you to see it. They got to see it for themselves, and they got to want it for themselves. That's one of the hardest things to learn when you're trying to help people.
Yeah, yeah. I like that you are, when you go to a panel, you listen to people, it's a lot of technical stuff. This website, this connect, this person, this format. I like that you're touching on stuff that is bigger than the technicalities, the knowing who should and shouldn't be around you or in your circle or who you may have to release at some point.
Yeah.
The work, okay?
Yeah.
5 days, okay? I like that you're tapping into that because I think some people have a formula, but then they don't have the other stuff, the passion, the drive, the commitment. You said you were making good money at a Fortune a Fortune 500 company, and you walked away. And a lot of people are like, I'm gonna keep that job and I'm gonna do my dream these days over here. You went full throttle.
Yeah, we call that the scarcity mindset. Like we have to have an abundant mindset. God put all of this here for us. You feel me? So we can't feel like, okay, I can't go get this because I was told I can't get this because I'm this ethnicity or whatever. You have to say, you know what? This is put here for me. God put this here for me and everyone else. Whoever chooses to go and pursue it, that's them. You can't have a scarcity mindset. You have to have an abundant mindset with everything that you do. You have to know that if I want it, I have to manifest it, I have to pray for it, and I have to put in the work to go get it. That's just what it is.
Works.
That's it.
That's it.
It's like I wish it was more complicated than that.
I don't.
But it's not. It's really not.
It's not. It's not. That's literally where we will leave it. Don't have a scarcity mindset. Have a mind of abundance.
Yes, indeed.
And go get it. So listen, anybody who's tuning in who want to know more about who you are, what you do, or how you could maybe assist them to getting to the next level, can you give them your social media or your contact?
Yeah, my Instagram is Blue the Mogul, BLUETHEMOGUL. I have a business page, Segway_events, SEGUE_EVENTS. But my business partners, that's my personal. My business partners and I, we have a company called Visionary Marketing Group. You guys may have known some of us when we were part of Men of Business, but we've since changed and evolved to and added some other members. And, some others went their own way and did their own thing, which I'm so proud of them because, like I said, NWA. Look at them. I mean, they look at that tree. You got Dr. Dre. All these people came from that. But Blue the Mogul is my Instagram. My Facebook is Christopher Blue. My Twitter, I'm not on that very much. I need to get back on it. But Black Shade, BLACKCHE. And then my Snapchat is my name is Mr. Blue on Snapchat. So
however you want to get in touch, he's giving you ample opportunity. Figure it out. Okay, and side note, I rock with your playlist. I seen the songs that you dropped. I'm okay.
That's
with
real. Okay, appreciate that. Yeah, I love music. That music is my music gets me through a lot. So I love music.
Well, thank you for joining us and for dropping jewels.
Well, thank y'all for having me. I appreciate y'all. I mean, it's truly a blessing to be here and I'm truly humbled that y'all invited me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Give them. Yeah, I know. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll be back with more information, live performance. No, the other one. Okay, no live. I just don't want to lie to the people. Okay, thank you for being here. We appreciate you. And thank you all for tuning in. We'll be right back. You don't want to miss it. See you in just a bit. Hello and welcome back to GlobeVision Business of Music Industry Panel. We are here with our final panel. Maybe save the best for last. We shall see. I'm your host, Stylez B, and we're going to get right into it. I want these vets to introduce themselves. Go ahead, because they've been doing this and they're professionals, and you want to listen. Go ahead. You want to start first, my dear?
Hi, I'm Pearl Jones.
Hi, Pearl.
Now, you know they play too much. First of all, they are MVPs, okay? But that's okay. We'll start off slow, okay? Can you say who you are and what you do?
What I do now or what I did to get where I am now?
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? That's why you call her a vet.
Bars.
That's why you call her a vet. You know, why don't I sit back? You know what? We're going to kick him out. Whichever one you want to start with, whichever one of you. You can say where you are. You can say where you are now, and then we'll tap into how we got to that place.
Okay. I am Pearl Jones. I am the founder of DFWI TV and DFWiRadio.com and iMediaNetworkGroup.com and RadioactiveWomen.com.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. See when I say what I said? Okay, what about you? I heard you was the liquor slinger. That's what I heard.
You did. First of all, Pearl's got all the .coms covered.
You see that? You saw that, right?
I'm Big Tex. I am a brand manager and lifestyle creator.
Absolutely.
Period. In the
Period. Absolutely. Okay, so I want to just dive in. This is the last panel of the night, and I know that you all have jewels for us, okay? So since Ms. Pearl was like, you want to know where I am now, what I did to get where I am now, I really would love to know how you got started, because I asked you this off the air, and you smirked. I like a smirk. That means that there's a story there. So how did you get started in this industry?
Okay. It's kind of a long story, but I'll give you the short version.
Okay.
Okay. It was like 1984.
Okay.
And Prince was coming to Dallas for a New Year's Eve concert. And try as I might, I could not be caller number 10 to win those win it before you can buy it tickets.
Okay.
So back then, you couldn't buy things on the internet. You had to actually take your body down and stand in line at the ticket office. Well, it was raining, and my friend and I stood in this line, worked our way up to the box office. By the time we got there, the only tickets left were behind the stage. Kind of pissed me off.
I could imagine, not in the rain, you know.
At that point, I decided I need to be the bitch in charge of them tickets. So,
HBIC.
Fast forward, I became the promotions director at K104. Message. I left there after 10 years and went to EMI Records as a Southwest Regional Promotions Director, Promotions Manager. From EMI, I segued to A&M Records. And then I went back to radio and started the promotions department at 97.9 when they first came into the Dallas market. When I left that after 5 months, because that circus was not for me.
Okay.
Whew. I ended up as a road manager for the Masters of Funk, which included the Bar-Kays, Confunction, Ohio Players,
wow.
Taste of Honey, Howard Hewitt. So those are all now people that I worked with in radio and met and befriended. As someone said earlier, relationships are everything. And because of the last year, we haven't been on the road. And especially, we haven't been on our regular Tom Joyner Fantastic Voyage cruises. We were putting together, Radio 1 was actually working on an unsung cruise. And we had all our contracts in for that, and then COVID hit. So it's actually been a good thing for me because I've been able to be still. And as I was saying to someone now, everyone's attention is on the internet. So back in 2009, when I first launched DFWiRadio, it was difficult. People were like, what are you doing? That's not going to work. It was really difficult. But now it's like, it's my time.
Look who's laughing now.
I'm back.
So I want to talk about just how your track record alone had people like, in the audience, because you have accomplished quite a bit. I'm kind of happy you didn't get the good tickets, because then we wouldn't have had all of that. You'd had a nice performance, and we might not have this. So I'm grateful for it.
I don't know, it
might have, but now we know.
But that was like I said, you really
motivation.
That was the story. That was the story. I mean, it's stranger things have happened. I don't know that it would be that easy now for someone to, because I was 28 years old, and I just called all the radio stations in town. I'm like, "Are you guys hiring?" And they'd say, "What do you do?" Like, "What you need me to do?"
Right.
I'm not stupid. Whatever you need me to do, I'm going to learn that. And I got hung up on a lot. But what happened was K104 had a position open for 2 hours a day, $6 an hour, and I left a good paying job. I'm like, I could do that because in 6 months, I'm getting promoted.
That's right.
And so I went in with a plan. I knew nothing about radio, didn't know how it worked, barely knew what a promotions director did, but I knew I needed those tickets. And so when I got in there, I volunteered to help everybody that had a power position. Oh, you're the program director. You need some help? Oh, you're the music director. You need some help with that? Oh, promotions director. I got my eye on you. So, yeah, I volunteered to do things, and then I actually became, remember now we're going back to 1985. I became the girl in the Little Red Corvette. That was the song at the time.
Like the Prince song.
Little Red Corvette. So we had the Coca-Cola sponsored Little Red Corvette, and I was all over the place making personal appearances. I hated that. I'm the behind the scenes person. I'm not, what you want my autograph for? You know, I'm sitting in Denny's eating and you came in here to look for me because I'm driving that car. That's crazy. Who does that?
Those people.
So they do that, yeah. So yeah, I prefer to be the brains of the operation and just kind of, and this one here actually was one of my employees at 97.9.
Like your third hire, right? Something like that.
Something like
that.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so look, she segued. So you can tell me how you got started in the industry.
So I told Dollar Trill I was going to start this off with the
I'm scared.
hell of a question. So we're in the, wait a minute, he said he wanted to record this, but this is real though.
I'm scared, y'all.
This is a beeline question. We're in the business of music industry panel. How many managers and singers are out here? Anybody? Raise your hand. Okay. DJ Harmony. How many people have brought their song to you today? Yes. There's the problem.
Message.
There's the problem. This is the business. We're in the business of making music, building brands. And you have a DJ with a captivated audience of people that can not only buy and consume your product, but hear it for the first time, and nobody jumped on that opportunity.
That's brilliant. That is brilliant. It's basic, but sometimes it's not. You know how they say common sense is not that common?
It's not that common.
Yeah, that was one of those moments.
Yeah.
I was even mind blown like, that is a good point. Think about all the panelists that's been in here. If you would have just message.
In a bottle. In a bottle.
I'm going to get to that bottle, too, because you didn't bring no extra glasses for myself.
No. I'm not. Opposite of Chris Blue, I'm not humble.
Hey, wait, that's why you don't share your liquor?
I'm not humble. Because have you ever looked up humble in the dictionary?
I have not.
It says to
actually
defer yourself, to think of yourself as under somebody. So why you want me to be humble? So you want me to think of myself under you? Not you.
No, I get it.
Just in general.
I know that wasn't for me.
Yeah,
and they know
just
that
in
too. A general you.
So I'm a glorified street teamer.
Okay.
I'm a glorified street teamer. And I say that because I'm a brand manager by trade. I build brands and lifestyles. And how I mean, getting started playing professional basketball, I came into the music business on the street team. And the story of Pearl and I was 97 had started, and I came in that freaking studio in that lobby, and I sat there for 3 or 4 months. And my first resume, I spelled my damn name wrong.
I know you fibbing.
Yeah, no, ask her. This is me and Pearl's running joke. I spelled my name wrong, but I sat in that lobby and I said, y'all will either hire me or get me arrested.
One or the other.
But I was about the business of music. I saw the branding opportunity and went from Def Jam Street Team. Luckily at the time when Def Jam 2000 was starting, so I got to hang with Jay, Russell Simmons, Ludacris, like the plethora of artists at that time that would come through the studio. And I don't network, I connect. So it was about a personal relationship with those guys and understanding how their kids are. Hey, I heard your mom, I saw your mom, or sitting down. Like there's a meme that went out, said, would you rather have $10,000 or dinner with Jay-Z? And I was like, shit, I had dinner with Jay-Z. Like me and him one-on-one, just sitting there talking. And to this day, like Jay may never know my name, but if I walk up to him, he knows my face. Mm-hmm. And I work on his brands now. So when I say glorified street teamer, as a brand manager, I'm still doing the things to build the business of music.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got on that one.
What more is there to say? Okay. Next question. Okay, so we know we've been talking about the pandemic a lot, and I know it's like, oh, here we go again, but we're still dealing. So how have you changed kind of how you're approaching your business right now in the midst of the pandemic?
I haven't.
Okay.
The business of building brands doesn't change.
Right.
It is more about more of a comprehensive marketing strategy now, whereas everybody now is rushing to the interweb and the social media platforms. I'm saying, no, do affiliate marketing. I'm saying buy ads in newspapers and magazines and local publications and buy ads on, that's it really. Like continue to spend your money elsewhere. Green sheets. Put your face on the side of the shopping carts in the grocery store. Like, come with a complete comprehensive strategy other than spamming the damn internet.
Right.
And most people don't. They just think I gotta get myself out there. I don't know what that means. You're looking for more exposure, and more exposure means segmenting your dollars and putting yourself in a position where people can see you. Hell. You ever been in the bathroom and seen them digital ads, them digital screens in the bathroom? Why you ain't in there? Because when I'm sitting there peeing, all I can do is lean on the wall and look up. But people don't think about that.
Right.
Or you think about Dollar Bill, where me and Dollar Bill run into each other outside of Chris Blue's events. And you walk right by Dollar Bill, go inside by a table from Chris Blue, missing the fact that Dollar Bill can put you on 500 flyers and put that on somebody's window with the ROI being 0.2%. Y'all missing that. So that's how it's changed. People have now, instead of, I haven't changed. People are just spamming the internet and not coming with a comprehensive 360 marketing strategy.
I like how you move, because it's like a mic drop, but it's like,
yeah, it's a mic swing.
Yeah, it's like,
y'all hear that wind? I'm gonna start adding the sound effects.
Okay, how do you think that you've kind of changed your approach in the industry right now with the pandemic? Do you think it has changed a bit?
It has definitely changed. In my personal situation, I had segued away from my radio station, gave it to my son and his wife to run. Okay. And I was out on the road with the artists. And since I couldn't travel for the last year, and I was explaining that technology has kind of caught up with what was in my head 10 years ago. And so now it's really, really easy live streaming. Who knew?
Yeah.
You know, and then social media, they're all competing with each other. But my thing is to use social media not the way most people use it. Most people want to put all their content on social media, which I think is really stupid. Even though, like, it's a generational thing for me, okay? But I think a perfect example of building your own brand and directing that traffic to your brand is what just happened to Trump. Most people don't even realize that man had an entire website, DonaldJTrump.com, with an app. But yet he was shut down because he took all of his energy to social media. And social media didn't like what he said, so they shut him down. And his dumbass followers, they didn't know, well, I'll just go to his website and see. No, he didn't even realize it.
He didn't even build it.
He didn't even realize it. So to me, when you say, well, follow me, don't follow me, go to my website.
And let me bring in on that. Own your domain name.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, as a brand manager, I'm going to take it. And then you got to come to me to buy it. So when you come with an idea about a brand, your music, whatever your artist name, and the first thing you do is go buy that damn domain name. Because if I hear it, if you sitting behind me in Starbucks and you say, oh, I'm going to come with businessmusic.com, I'm going to pull open GoDaddy right in front of you. I'm gonna pay that $1.99.
Yes, it's not even
I'm gonna
expensive.
put it in my Phantom account and I'm gonna steal it. Now when you come back, you gotta buy it from me, and I'm gonna charge.
That's right. You gotta add tax.
You're gonna pay what you owe.
Now, I will say the one social media that I do really like is Clubhouse. I really, really like Clubhouse, and as artists to be able to go on there. Now Clubhouse is supposed, I don't know if everybody is familiar with Clubhouse.
It should, at this point, it should be.
It's Zoom without video.
It's audio, social media, which is cool. But you can't do blah, 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 terms of service, yada, yada, blah, blah. But there's always a workaround to the rules. And there is a mixing board called the Rodecaster Pro. I don't know if everybody here is familiar with that or not, but I will be broadcasting live on DFWiRadio through Clubhouse, and I intend to, there is so much music, so many artists. They actually, not too long ago, The Lion King was doing auditions live on Clubhouse.
Wow.
Look at the back of the room. There it is right there. He walked in with it like plug.
So now think about the Rodecaster Pro. Just so for people who do your own broadcasting, whatever. With that thing right there, I have the ability to take my iPhone. There's a plug that goes into my iPhone with an XLR cable that goes into the mic jack on that thing. And then
like the Price is Right. You got to hold it like the Price is Right.
Right. So that mic number 2 can be my phone. So I can pull up Clubhouse on my phone on mic number 2 and broadcast out. I can bring that volume down and interject whatever I want to interject and then put the volume back up. Plus, I get to record it if I wanted to send it out as a podcast. Okay?
My DJ has her. Look at my DJ. Mouth wide open.
Wow.
Trust me, because even as an artist, if you are on Clubhouse with your music, you can build an audience on Clubhouse and play your music for them and get feedback. You've got a lot of industry people on there. You've got a lot of potential. But the thing I want to ask most artists, they want to hear themselves on the radio. They want to hear their product out there, but they don't have a barcode. And if I wanted to buy your music, is it even for sale?
Did you just drop a dollar bill, Jewel?
One of them. I just call that one a nugget. Because that should just, if you don't have your business set up to sell your music, to monetize on your work,
what are we doing?
Then what you're doing is ego spins. So, what you got?
Did you hear the church say amen? Did you hear him?
I did.
You
heard
that?
You got a big ego.
So, anybody got barcodes here? Barcodes, anybody? Okay. All right. Are y'all are not all artists, though, right?
No.
Okay, that's
I
a good
write,
thing.
but I have barcodes for what I write.
Okay. All right. So,
I think there's something to be said too with when Clubhouse is part of an overall strategy. Okay, it's now the A&Rs coming into Clubhouse, and so that they can get their message out, developing your brand in Clubhouse, your music, and put it in front of the people that can hear it. And with A&R skills, we don't need to hear the whole damn song. You know, we're in and out. And Pearl says something that was fantastic. I don't care what any artist says, they still want to hear their music on terrestrial radio. Okay? They still want to be driving through Harlem, Compton, South Dallas.
My song's on the radio.
My song is, that is still an erection moment.
That's the word I would have used. So get it out of my mouth.
But with that being said, it's a proud moment. You know, it's still that proud moment. So artists saying, I don't care about terrestrial radio, or what you start breaking down the streams and how much you're making off, and you got to have 4 million streams to make $20, and they don't think like Tech 9. You know, Tech 9 was the first artist to 360 his brand. He owned the gate, he owned the stage, he owned the merch. Hell, he had a piece of the bar and piece of the valet. So artists no longer are thinking that way. It's, I got to get my merch, I got to get on social media, and they're forgetting there's more to your brand.
Yeah.
It's a bigger part of the music, the business of the music. And playing to your ego and having the yes people around you and having your local community not live your brand for you, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta spend in New York. You can make enough money in Houston.
Well, you know, the other part of that is even if you don't have a barcode and you're not selling your music, DFWiRadio pays licensing fees to ASCAP and BMI. So if you're registered and I'm playing your record, you're going to get a check. So if you don't handle your business, you ain't get no money. You got your ego. Your ego's good. All right. That's all you need? We got you.
That part. And I want to go back just because you dropped like 5 different things that we just continue to move past because you kept dropping them. So I want to rewind. So the first thing when you mentioned Trump, that was major. Because here's the thing. If you don't own it, they can silence you.
Yes.
I was grateful for the silence. That's neither here nor there. But they can silence you. So if you don't own your domain, if you don't own, or send them to your website, like you said, because how many times like people make jokes about like the Facebook jail, oh, they didn't like what I say, they put me in Facebook jail, right? So at the end of the day, if your whole brand, if everything you're doing is from some type of social media platform,
that belongs to somebody else.
They are in full control, exactly, and you have to play by their rules. So that was the first thing I want to just go back to. Send them to your website. Send them to your stuff.
And let me say this while you say that before. I don't care what nobody says. Donald Trump is the greatest marketer we have seen in the last 2 centuries.
But this ain't about him.
Right.
No, it ain't. Right. It ain't. It's not.
But you can't take away the platforms and the way he used them. He's the antithesis. But he's the antithesis in the marketing strategy of what Obama did. Mm-hmm. Obama went straight to the people through social media.
Yep.
Trump went through people, but he went through the people that Obama was not talking to.
Absolutely.
And that's a part of the music business. You got to talk to people that are not going to consume your music. You need to be on urban stations. You need to be on CHR. Hell, you need to try to use your music as a music bed on an AM station. Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead, number 2.
No, go ahead. Well, that was number 2 right there. Nah.
Let me just add to that in that whether you work with an artist, whether you are the artist, when you're distributing your music and trying to get on 2 or 3 local radio stations that have an audience that's this big, get on the internet and service those internet radio stations that you can find. Because I was surprised in the first month that we were on the air in 2010, when I looked at our analytics, like, why do people in Russia listen to us? Why do we have people in Paris listening to us? So even though you think terrestrial radio is that, it's really not. Our reach was global and theirs was local. Now they're trying to do their little, go to our app, we're on the internet after all these years. But even back then, so don't miss the internet radio stations.
Absolutely.
And then the other thing I want to say is on terrestrial radio, I've never understood why, but payola is illegal. We know that, right? So why don't they just make it legal and say, hey, I'm playing this record because they paid me to play it? I've never understood that. Internet radio is the one place where you can pay to get your music played. Buy an advertising package, budget your product accordingly.
Yeah.
My show, Big Brand Big You, is an actual. So does everybody know what terrestrial radio is? Does anybody know what that means? It's AM, FM. It's on your radio in your car. Just we don't talk acronyms and short language here. But my show actually has a terrestrial clock. So I cut my own commercials.
Okay.
And I have 3 songs a show. But what it does is it gives local artists, global artists, an opportunity to send that to me, and then they can have their buddy that's in California that can't hear it in Dallas, some big brand, bigtextmarketing.com, and hear my music, and it's registered, and you're getting paid for it.
On what station?
DFWiRadio.com. Bars.
Turning all of it up so y'all can hear. I'm turning it up. Okay, is this the dial, Pearl? This the one I turn up for the thing?
That's the dial.
Oh my God. No, listen. I see what you did there. I saw it and I heard it. Okay. So that was number 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know what number we on right now. But something else you mentioned about a barcode. So a lot of people's like, what's a barcode? But the point of the barcode is so that you can scan and get payment. Like if there is nothing that tracks your music, there is no way for you to get money. And then also what you mentioned, BMI, ASCAP, royalties. So, you know, you ever watch TV and they play the same reruns over and over and over? Okay, those people get, huh?
That's terrestrial radio plays the 5 songs over.
No, TV. I was making an example. If you watch TV and they play the same episode over and over, those people get royalties. That would be what they would get with your music if you were with BMI or ASCAP. So a lot of people are just creating to create and then wondering why they're not making it. So these are things that are needing to be in play.
And to be clear, terrestrial radio is no longer in control of your career. Once upon a time, they dictated to record companies. The record companies had to pay them to play the music.
Right.
Okay. You look at somebody like me, when I worked for EMI, A&M, I had a budget to go out and schmooze my PDs and say, hey, play this record, you know.
They was out buying cars and Rolexes and.
I mean, you know, they didn't get that money from me. They had other people that took care of all of that. And they're no longer in control. The internet has taken that control away from them, and most terrestrial radio stations, especially in the Dallas-Fort Worth market, our black radio stations in particular, they can't buy any ratings right now. And the other thing is, I've already spoken to a couple of people here who are doing what I do. It's up to us as black people to elevate our intelligence level again. They took us down. I mean, I worked at radio from 1985. I saw the switch where it used to be at KKDA AM here. That was the black power station. You know, back in the day when I worked with Tom Joyner, his thing was drop a dime on the man. And on your way to work, you let us know where the man is. We're going to tell everybody so they can slow down. The police visited the station and said, tell him stop doing that. Okay? Okay. But, and I saw it when I went to A&M Records, okay, was a time when you were proud to be in black radio. It was something to be proud of because of the intelligence that was shared, and it was our media. And that changed. Okay, when I was at A&M Records, and this is why I left A&M Records, and I had a little granddaughter, and I'm out there asking them to play I'm a Hoe. And that's when I said, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I don't want my granddaughter singing that. I'm a hoe. That was my project.
Did you finish the song, Big Tex? Did you really?
You know? But, and it's only gotten worse since then. That was in the mid-90s, and by today's standards, that was mild.
Yeah.
Okay? So as black people, if we don't take that back, Roland Martin is a perfect example. Roland Martin was at KRNB here locally. He was fired and told, you're not major market material. He said, I could show you better than I could tell you. Okay, and now iHeartRadio bought his show to play on their station because terrestrial radio is now looking at internet radio stations for content, for artists. For that. So internet radio, TV, media has the ability to lead the charge.
Yep.
Just make it good. Make it good.
And I think, Pearl, when she says good, in my language, it means develop your brand. Okay? And it goes way further than a IG story or a TikTok. It boils down to your look. It boils down to your engagement with your consumers. It goes down to how you make people feel. You are not a superstar. I hate to bust your ego, but when somebody walks up to you and they're like, I heard your song, that person did not have to spend those 2.5 minutes listening to your song. Learn how to develop your brand, develop your look. They always tell the story about, 2 stories. Eminem used to perform a concert in front of the mirror by himself for hours, trying to get that craft down.
Yeah.
LL Cool J used to have to drive to Vermont and play in country bars to get that craft down. Nowadays, it's, oh, I performed on TikTok. Shit, I'm the man. But then when you get off stage, you know, when you get off of that interweb, now people want to come up to you and want to shake your hand. Now your handshake is flimsy. You smell bad. You don't know how to look people in the eye when you're talking to them. And the first thing that person is going to say when they walk away, they're going to be like, this mother.
I be bothered if I smell somebody. It bothers my spirit.
But
that's neither here nor there. It does. It bothers my spirit.
This, you know, as a brand manager, I deal with liquor, right? So I have Douce, I have Doers, I have global brands. And everybody's like, I want my artist to be a part of your brand, or the artist directly comes to me and I'm like, do you realize that if I align you with Douce, there's a 100% chance that Jay-Z is going to see this?
Right.
And now all of a sudden, my brand is at risk.
Right.
So you want to be an influencer, you want to have brands tie in themselves with you, but at the end of the day, if you had no value to those brands because your music is crappy, your appearance is crappy, you smell bad, your mama always in the way, what happens is these brands say you're too much of a risk.
Yeah.
And I can't risk this billion or multi-million-dollar marketing platform that I'm about to put up against you. So it's about really developing your brand, and that's the business of music.
Bam. That's it. No more questions.
That's all we got.
So listen, I hate to end it. Really, I do.
But I have more to say. No,
I know. I want you to say more, but they're going to fire me because they say time is up, okay? So I have to end it. But what I will say is, can you please give everyone your contact and whatever you're comfortable with giving so they can find a way to reach out to see how they could be better, develop their brand, and learn more about the business of music.
Any word you choose at DFWiRadio.com. Pick a word. Doesn't matter.
Every Tuesday night, DFWiRadio.com, 6 o'clock. That's it. Every Tuesday night, 6 o'clock, DFWI Radio.
That's it.
That's how you reach us.
So tune in. That's what he's saying. Tune in.
That's all we got.
Period. That's all we got. Thank you all so much for joining us again this year. We cannot thank you enough. A lot is going on in the world. You could be anywhere, but you choose to be here with us. I cannot play with them. Okay. I hope that you've enjoyed. I hope you took notes and then more notes and then notes again. And we can't wait to see you elevate your brand and your business, the business of music. Thank you. Until next time, we'll see you soon.
Wait a minute.
Oh.
Congratulations and kudos to this. Oh. Y'all did that. Yeah.
Shout out to GlobeVision Inc. for bringing this all together and Digital University Studios for housing this. And that's it. DJ, take us out.